All right, so big fans. I've always liked big fans. Big fans is a solid round. There's not like a lot of crazy momentum movement, but there's a lot of like feel good movement. Like when you're ahead and you can keep yourself ahead and stuff. I think it's pretty solid. And it's a good starter. I'm gonna probably put big fans. I don't think I put it in S, Ghoulie, but I think it's a solid A for me. I'm never upset when big fans comes along.
Yeah, for me, big fans is basically everything I want for an opener, where it's like it has enough avenues to where you can experiment around, and there's a way to min max it, but it takes a little bit, and it rewards all levels of skill. There's not like a real big drop off there. It doesn't go on forever like some of these other openers do,
Yeah.
and it's just accessible enough to where like the newbies who are into Fall Guys can actually utilize the game feature without having like either the time or the difficulty just crush them.
Yeah.
So for that, I'd also put it in A tier smacks.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that, like the newbies. I think it's a good teacher. I think it's a great teacher course for like movement and stuff. Like when you have to jump over the thinner parts of the fans, like that's pretty solid for teaching newer players. All right, Clumsy Carnival. I don't. Clumsy Carnival is not bad. I feel like it's a little rough if you don't get kind of separation at the beginning and you're kind of dealing with everybody's hitboxing as you're trying to get and stay on the trapezes. Um, but I don't know. I still like it. I still like when it comes up. I don't think I like it nearly as much as big fans, but I still enjoy it. Um, I think I'm. I think I feel solid about putting it in B, and it'll probably remain like top of B because I think it's a good one. It's just not. It's not at the level of big fans for me.
I'm not sure where goes compared to Big Fins. I would still put it in A tier for my liking because as far as gaining momentum goes, if you're starting off like in the middle or if you don't have a lot of contention in that middle lane, it's one of the best things to witness as a viewer. And it's one of those other events where like Big Fans, it doesn't necessarily punish you too much for falling off the rank there. Like if you miss the trapeze, big deal. If you miss the speed boost at the very end, no big deal. As long as you're like perpetually making yourself forward, there's a good chance that you're gonna like at least make the top 16, maybe even top 20.
Yeah, recovery isn't
Um,
too bad on this one.
yeah, like there's one coming up that has horrendous recovery, and I'll let you know about that when we get. Yeah, you pretty much already know, but
I think
for
I
me,
do.
yeah, I'm gonna put Clumsy Carnival in Smacks as well. I love these obstacle course like events.
Fair, fair. Cylinder Stumble. I do like some Cylinder Stumble. I think the only part of Cylinder Stumble that I'm really like not a fan of is well, I guess for last season I wasn't really a fan, but now I kind of like learned the timing of the hammer at the end. So honestly, even the end is pretty solid. I love that jump. You know the jump that I'm talking about, where you go on that like really fast conveyor, and it sends you super far forward, and you jump dive over to like three more of them that you can chain together into some really fast movement. I love that part. Um, I think I personally like it more than Clumsy Carnival, but maybe not as much as Big Fans. So it'll go. I think it'll go under Big Fans in A for me. I don't think Ghoulie agrees, but that's okay. For me, it's an A.
Yeah, for me, Cylinder Stumble, every time I see it, I just think, oh man, I'd rather be playing Rooftop Rush or Mind the Gap. Like, it has a very, just because, like, when it came out, it has a similar theme to it, but there's areas that it starts off really strong. Like, when you're going through the tumble in the middle, that kind of filters out all the newbies and it, like, encourages them to, like, maybe go off to the sides and try this later down the road.
Hmm.
But what kills it for me is there's a section towards the end where you're jumping over like two of those yellow bar like there's two cylinders that you have to hop on and then you go underneath and there's like a yellow escalator thing that's pushing you back. And every time I try like it's really no matter what I do, whether it's jumping over it or diving over it, it always kills the momentum for the level for me. It's still a
Hmm.
very good level, and the finale, when you're able to nail the hammer at the end, it is so satisfying to have
So
that and ride that.
satisfying.
It's so satisfying to ride that into the victory lap, especially when the person in front of you missed it. Uh, so still good, not my favorite, but it's a solid B nice tier.
I can feel that. I can feel that. Yeah, I just learned the hammer like it was either like last night. Like I couldn't get a good hit off of it, but then I got one, and it sent me all the way to the to the goal. It was like, oh my god, the speed. Oh boy. All right, Dragon Dashers. I love Dragon Dashers. Dragon Dashers are sick. Um, if you don't keep your speed, it can be kind of rough. But if you keep your speed, which you should, I it it's it's either top of A or like just barely into S for me. I think this is a great opener. I don't know where I'm gonna put it though. Hmm. I don't know if it cracks S. S is gonna be kind of hard to get into. I think it I think it's in like top of A. I like it more than big fans, but not just barely not enough to hit S.
Yeah, I would say out of all my A tier ones, this is probably gonna go to the top for me, just because I'm never disappointed when I see it, and it's always a good, strong, solid opener because it kind of gives you an indicator of like who's gonna be the top dogs to keep an eye out for, who's gonna be the grabbers. Because for whatever reason, even though this is a slime based level, there seems to be an awful lot of grabbers in the opener,
Yeah,
and this
right.
one's no exceptions. It also kind of rewards you for like playing with the more risky avenue. Like there's some people who, when the section where you're on the three white and red pads, and there's a conveyor belt that's pushing into the slide. A lot of the times, I'll see some of like the middle to like lower tier people kind of like jump across that like it's lily leapers, and then when you see people like they'll curve in and out the three lines there, that's how you know. Yep, that's the skill indicator right there.
For
So for
sure.
that,
Yeah.
top of A for me.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything that you said. And I just think that when you have the speed in this, it just feels so good to go through the level, man. Like it's just like
Ugh.
it's so satisfying. And you're not even like necessarily doing anything that's like crazy tech. You're just moving fast the whole time. It's like rebound run, but like not nearly as long and drawn out.
Yeah, this kind of feels like if they were ever to take a Sonic game and try and like make it Fall Guys esque, this
I
is
was gonna
kind of
just
what I
say
would
that.
imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because it does. It feels it's like fireworks. Yeah, there's not lot mechanically going on there, but you still enjoy seeing it nonetheless.
For sure.
And the momentum is just again, it's just one of the same things I like about a lot of these openers. They have really solid momentum.
All right.
And
Now
all right.
full tilt. I I think that full tilt is not bad, but I don't think that it reaches A for me. There if you how to word this. If you go through full tilt, like the first section of it, right? And you fall off at like right or you get grabbed like and it stops your jump in the middle and you fall, the recovery is really not fun to deal with. Because you're so far behind and it just feels like everybody's like everybody's catching so much wind while you're just down here. You're just back there, like struggling to gain grounds. It's just really tough to catch up. But if you're at the front, it's fine. If you're at the front and you're just like, there's that one part where you can jump over the barrier and hit the trampoline and gain a little bit of ground, and then you're usually in the front. And if you're in the front, you can take those two trampolines once you go through the checkpoint, like 1-to-1, and then you're in front. And there's basically nothing to that can stop you. And I think it's to me it's pretty easy at this point, but I don't think I can really put it design wise too much higher than B. I think there's some really I think there's some better designed ones.
That's fair. Like I know it has a lot of design overlap with some other ones that aren't even in this list. I think there's one in particular that I the name escapes me at the moment, but every time I play that, I just think like, oh, this is the better version of that round. Uh,
Is it
Full Tilt.
roll on maybe? Like the maybe not.
I don't know if I ever get around to like ranking all the Fall Guys maps, I'll let you know. But there's like a gimmick that this round has that's very similar to it. And I'm just like, okay, so it's not at least it's not that round. They did bring it back recently though for this iteration. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But speaking of full tilt, one thing So I get why people would not like this one, but I like it because it has just enough RNG in it, just enough
Mm.
RNG elements to kind of like keep me from just zoning out and min maxing it while I'm waiting for like the whole lobby to finish up. Because the way like the different routes that people play and the way they change the weight of the little cylinders that you're on, it kind of forces you to like, oh, sometimes I have to go for the left side. Sometimes I have to make a jump for the little bouncy pads in the middle. Sometimes I'll have to like hang back.
It's the better
And
version of Seesaw.
is that
That's what you were.
yes,
That's
yes,
what you
thank
were
you.
thinking of.
Yeah,
Yep.
God, yeah, side tangent, but I hate Seesaw. But like,
Seesaw's ass. Seesaw's F tier. This is
yes,
much better Seesaw. Like this is a Seesaw
yes.
that I can actually enjoy.
Yeah, because Seesaw has so much RNG in it that like I feel like no matter what I do, I cannot speedrun it. Whereas Full Tilt, I always feel like no matter how random the lobby gets, no matter how chaotic neutral they seem to be sometimes, if you have enough skill, I can always at least make the top 10.
Hmm.
So I mean, I don't know, it's very redundant out of like the last ones we've gone through. That's just the nature of the beast with these openers, but for me, I would put it I'm gonna say the bottom of A tier because for me it still smacks.
Yeah.
I
No,
like it more than
I can feel that.
I like it more than Cylinders Stumble, but it's I don't know, I'd have to play these all back to back, but I think it's the one that has like the worst momentum in it. So by default, it's gonna go here.
Mm. Yeah. No, I can feel that. Mine is different, but I definitely it's hard for me to actually I might put Full Tilt above Clumsy Carnival in B. It's like right at the doorstep to A. Like I do enjoy it like every time I get it. I just think that it's a little I don't know, just it doesn't have you don't really ever build up a lot of speed in Full Tilt, whereas in Cylinder Stumble there's at least certain parts where you can kind of do it on the the uh the treadmills or like that part that has all of the cylinders like rotating like back to back to back to back. You can get some movement on that. But Full Tilt's just like, I'm just going unless you screw up and then it's really hard to get back. But anyway, good stuff. Mind the Gap. I think that you think higher of this one than I do, based on what you've seen. I think this one's pretty mid. I'm putting it in C, and I
Oof.
really think that it doesn't do anything. I feel like I'm just walking in a straight line. There's only one part that I actually like enjoy, and it's the end where you can combo one trampoline, get onto another platform, get onto the next trampoline. It's like the right side. Like if you hug the right side the entire time, like the end is kind of fun, but otherwise I feel like I'm just walking in a pretty much straight line on flat platforms, and that's the whole thing. And people struggle like crazy at the end. I I watched some of the newbies at the end, and I'm like, guys, just just please, like just it's not just don't be hasty. You know what happened to the boy that couldn't wait, and the bear got him. Just just make the jumps that you know you can make, and just get to the end. All right. But yeah, no. For me, this is C. I don't hate it. Hate it. Like if I hated it, it would be in D or F. But I think it's kind of mid.
Yeah, you definitely called it with me liking this way more because I'm on like the different mindset where I do enjoy it and I do kind of like that it's a bit more simple as the opener. So I totally get the idea that like oh I'm just walking in a straight line and there's not a whole lot of like chaos until like the very end, but really the worst thing about this level for me is the fact that for whatever reason people get to like that last third and they just start choking and you've already finished at this point so there's this long dissonance of like you just sitting there waiting for everybody to finish. They can't seem to like just wait for the destructible platforms to grow back in.
Yep.
So that's the worst part for me, but I do enjoy the sheer amount of just randomized bullshit that does admittedly screw me over more often than anybody else. As like, for example, you'll jump on the purple platform and then you'll go to move, and somebody will jump on it at the very end, and for no reason, your
It
character will just get sent
flings you
flying.
off. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's like full tilt in that regard, where it does kind of keep me on my toes in that sense, but it is also if you are fast enough, you can speed run it. I would say for me, God, it's getting kind of clustered for my my smacks, but I'll put this in nice for now. We'll see where this goes, but right now I would say it's better than cylinder, but worse than full tilt.
Fair, very fair ranking. I'm actually curious, which like route do you go? I always go to the right side because I like doing those two trampolines at the end. But like, do you go center? Do you go left side?
So I usually go in the middle first. Depends on where I start necessarily, but like if the ball, like the first pendulum is out of the way, I go straight. But if it's not, I like to go for the risk and jump on the little bouncy platform in the middle. Just because it's like the swinging ball basically gives me a little bit of room to get away from like all the people that are like tailing me behind, so I don't have to worry about the purple sticks send me flying when I don't see it.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't like the left side. If I'm not gonna be going the right side, I'm definitely gonna be going center because I think the left side is just like it just feels long and there's nothing to do on it. All right. Rebound run is. I have to wonder, is this the one that you were talking about?
As far as the unforgiveness, no,
Yeah.
actually,
No.
no.
Okay.
No, I have another problem with this, but I'll say it in my time.
Yeah. All right. So for me, rebound run is like I think playing this is it's like a double-edged sword almost. It's like when it goes really well and you're at the front and you're making absolutely no mistakes, you got all the schmovement. It's really really fun. It's kind of like you're playing Sonic again, like you were playing in Dragon Dashers, but a little bit more like long and drawn out. I think 2 laps is like a little bit much for some of these newer people, especially being an opener, dude. Like, that's rough to make newbies do 2 rounds of this. They're all gonna die, like every time, and it times out more often than not in my experience because a lot of the newer players just can't really handle the like massive movement that is required to keep your speed at all times in this map. But I mean I do like it. I just wish that they would like kind of either shorten it to one or make the timer a little bit longer. But I don't really know if I want that either because it already feels that you're playing it for like a while. So then you have to wait for a while after. It's I don't know. And the glitch that allows people to finish ahead of you by basically completing 1 lap and then completing like the same lap again by like respawning behind the finish line. Like if that's still in the game and people are using it, that really needs to be patched out because that's kind of game breaking. Um, for me, I mean, I really like playing it, but it does have some pretty significant issues. I don't know where I want to put it. Do I want to put it? I still like it. I like when it comes up, so I can't put it like mid. It has to be at least B for me. And I think if it didn't have the issue with newbies just kind of not really being able to complete it at all, it would be higher. But I think I'm gonna put it in like top of B in noise.
Okay, yeah. So rebound run for me is kind of like it's very similar to Dragon Dashers, where it's all about getting the speed, the momentum. But in my opinion, it's actually better than Dragon Dashers because it's really good for people who've played Fall Guys before. You can definitely tell that it's a map that was put in well after the fact, like probably several years into its development. Because in just one round alone, you're going through speed boosts, jumping from side to side, jumping over holes, waiting for platforms to go up and down, using conveyor belts, you holding on to the jump and you're like that jumping part where you have to like hold just do a soft jump the first time and then hold down the jump button so you can get maximum lift on the second jump
Yeah,
is
very technical.
yeah, peak platforming. It's really good. Unfortunately, there's three major problems with me that I have with it. One, it's an opener. I feel like this would be either a really good finale or at the very least it would be a very serviceable mid-tier thing because it has the same problem with uh with Hyperdrive Heroes, where it just I don't know what it is about this lobby, but it just shreds through lobbies. Like I
Yeah,
can't tell you how many times I've loaded up a match with this thing, and we've gone to the second round with like literally a third of the lobby just standing, and everyone else just gets timed out. And the other problem I have was like that issue at the end where people can like just break the map by double scoring, like you said earlier.
yep.
The fact that that has not been patched in by now is really alarming. Like it's borderline
Mind
broken.
blowing.
It's out
Yeah.
of all of the maps so far, this is the only one that has like an actual technical issue with it. And for that, I, as much as I love this one, as cool as it is to run, I cannot give it anything more than the very end of Be Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing, right? Like if it didn't have the like lobby killer thing, like an opener should not be a lobby killer. The fact that it's 2 rounds and it destroys newbies and kills the lobby, that's I mean it's rough, but that's Fall Guys sometimes. But then you stack that other shit on top of it, and it's like, all right, I can't really like I want just to how much I enjoy it. I want to put it in like high A almost, but like I can't. I can't bring myself to with the other issues it has.
Yeah, because nobody
Um,
wins in that regard because
yeah,
it's horrible for the new players because it incentivizes them to go further in the game if they keep getting this match, and it's bad for the experts and the veterans because they have to sit around for like minutes on end waiting for like hopefully the last people to finish up, and you're just sitting there like, ugh.
yeah. I mean such an easy fix is if they just made it 1 lap. Like it's still a hard track, and newbies would have trouble completing it, and but it, we wouldn't have to sit there waiting for a million years, and it wouldn't. Then that would also just delete the whole exploit too, right? Because there's no more second lap. So
Yeah.
I think that if they just did that, then it would fix everything about it. But
Yeah, because on paper, and this is the last I'll say about it, but on paper, I like it more than Stumble, but Stumble doesn't have nearly as many glaring flaws as Rebound does. So
yeah,
again, it's where it has to stay.
yeah, it feels like we're being forced to put it lower than we want to. That's just kind of the nature of it.
Yeah,
Um, all right, let's move on to Rooftop Rush. I know you love Rooftop Rush. I also really like Rooftop Rush. I don't know if I can put it in S, but it's close. It's like I like it more than big fans. Do I like it more than Dragon Dashers? Yes. It might be like bottom S for me. I think that playing this a lot more last season, like after we initially talked about it, has really put it up in my esteem because basically every part of this map, except maybe like the part I think the only part of it that I'm not like the hugest fan of is like the part like right before the end where there's like those Roombas going around, like the flying ones going around in a circle, and you kind of have to cut over the fan with the bar, and then you get to the slime part where it catapults you to the end. That
hmm
part I end up getting hit by the Roomba a little bit more than I'd like to admit. But every other part of the map I feel has like really good flow to it and solid recovery. Like if you mess up, you're really not that far back at any point. Like you can easily catch back up to people. And there's some really good movement you can unlock. I think this will be first S tier. It won't remain at the top of S by any means for me, but I think it broke the barrier.
I myself also have to put it in S tier. I think we everyone who's familiar with me knows that this is going on S tier for me because it has everything I want in an opener. It has a strong sense of momentum. It's got huge platforming levels that kind of teach you the fundamentals of the game while also rewarding you for dangerous and more advanced play. It's really rewarding to finish up. It has sliding mechanics, jumping mechanics. It makes use of the goo. The spinning platforms, like the enemies in the environment, are really. This has some of the strongest environmental hazards without it like shafting you over half the time. And when you fall off the map in some cases, you don't feel like you're falling through like you're playing Mario Kart and you have to wait for Lakitu to like pick you up after 30 seconds. Like it's punishing, but it's not like, "Oh my god, no." Like when I get hit in this match, I always feel like it was warranted or okay, I could have played that better. So, or like it has a really good sense of balance.
Yeah,
And even though like it has RNG elements in there, uh I always feel like you can circumvent them enough, kind of like with big fans in a way. So, I really have nothing else to say. This is a really solid level and one of the best ones they've made in a very long time. S tier.
yeah. I think they did a really good job when they added this. Like it's just such a breath of fresh air when it comes up. Always happy to see it, honestly. Can't I don't know if I can really say the same for the next one. I do like Short Circuit, and I always have liked Short Circuit. I think it's just a really and it's a good like I want to say it's like if Rebound Run was the correct length and also had like a lot more technicality kinda to like certain parts of it. Though there is that one janky section with like the bars while you're on the spinning parts, the spinning like tables, and I don't know. It's that part I hated for a long time, but now that I've kind of played it enough, I know how to get through it, and I know the timing that things are going to move, so it's not as bad. But to a newbie, that part can really take forever. But I do like it a lot. It's definitely not S tier. I think it's a solid Smacks though. Like I do like Short Circuit a lot. Um, there's not many parts of it that I think are overly difficult, and there's not too many parts of it that I think are overly easy. It's kind of the right mix of challenge and speed for me, because there's a lot of speed boosting things in this, and the gravity section is kind of cool too. Though sometimes the timing can be a little bit weird. I do enjoy Short Circuit. I'll probably put it in A. I don't know if it goes above Cylinder. It doesn't go above Big Fans. I think it'll go above Cylinder, but not Big Fans in Smacks.
Admittedly, it has a little bit more going against it, in my opinion. I think just the fact that it's been in the playlist for like so many of these for so long, though, that I'm like every time it pops up, I'm kind of tired of playing it
It's a
because
little
it
bit
has a lot of
stale.
like, well, it's just it's stale, but it also has a lot of little micro problems that I've always hated. For one, the gravity section towards the end in the second lap, I don't know what it is, but like that's always been the biggest momentum killer for me. And anytime I have to wait for like a door to slow down, it kind of has the same issues that people have with like Slime Saloon, where you're just sitting around waiting, and it's like you can never really time it all that well because it boils down to like, oh well, who stepped on the little button in the middle there last, and you're like, oh my god. So if there was the only way I could think to make it better is if they had like a dangerous section towards the end that like yeah you can either wait and be safe to like kind of get over the hump, or if you're impatient and you think you're skilled enough you can take the dangerous section to get over these, just wait for the door to lower that. And I can't tell you how many times where I've got to jump and then for no reason the door that like goes up will just catch you and then slowly lift you up like a Star Wars elevator.
I saw that happen to you one of the last times we played together, dude. It was comical.
I've had that happen to me back to back. I'm like, no way. So I I don't want to say it's mid because admittedly it's not. But it is going at the very low end of
Of noise
noise.
for you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because
fair. That's
it
also fair.
it has less problems than Rebound Run, but it's not as enjoyable or fun to watch or play.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not for like for those of us who are as experienced in Fall Guys as we are. It's definitely less satisfying than something like Rebound Run to go through. But I feel like the level design is still just a little bit more solid. So I'm gonna keep it up here in A, but I can definitely understand what you're talking about where you're putting it in B. Slippy Slopes is a opener that has a really cool start, in my opinion, a very solid middle, especially that part. Oh my god, where you're like going down the slime and you jump off it onto the like the perfect time jump onto the trampoline onto more slime. Oh my god. I love that part. The only part of this map that I think is just kind of pure scuff is the end. And it like if you get there on the optimal route and you're going at good speed, a lot of the time, especially if you go left side for the end, you can get a good dive off and land on that spinning platform and you're kind of fine. But the amount of people, and this was me for a little while, that struggled to like make sense of what you were supposed to do at the last part. Like even if you go to like the far left or far right, which is like a lot easier to get down, it's still kind of rough because there's like spikes of slime shooting out all over the place, and I've felt like I haven't touched them, and then it teleports me all the way back up. I'm like, oh come on, man. Um, but for the most part, especially now that I know how to deal with the end, I am usually happy to see Slippy Soaps. Um, for me, it's probably A. Smacks more than Short Circuit. More than big fans? Yes, but not more than Dragon Dashers. That's where it's chilling for me.
So I kind of want to put it like either like somewhere around Dragon Dashers in A tier. Like it's a really good like smacking level. It's fun to watch. It's always great when it's like the opener because it again rewards you with like this really strong momentum. Like utilizing the slime as well as the jump in the like the end of Act 1 is really cool, especially when you're able to like jump, dive, jump, and then hit the button to like push you forward onto the little slip or like there's like a section with like pillars of slime that like disconnect you if you touch them.
Yep.
Moving across those is pretty fun. There's like one part in it that I don't appreciate, and it's not the end. It's the one before you touch the fans that push you up towards the last platform, or like the golden bridge that like pushes you forward. Um, and it's basically if you're stuck on the right side, you kind of have to like move your character around through the slime, but that's a very minor point as far as like momentum killer. But uh, out of all these events, it has the most satisfying ending, with the exception of rooftop rush. Because if you can get on either side, slide down and jump at the middle, and then jump over to like the side on the very left, it's perfect. Perfect speed run material. And if this is kind of like a middle ground between Rooftop and Dragon Dashers, where it has like a equilibrium of like platform navigation and speed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put it like at the behind Dragon Dashers in Smacks, A tier.
Yep. I think we ranked it the pretty much the exact same. I mean, we're both. It's right behind Dragon Dashers for us both. But I don't know if you're. Do you still have Dragon Dashers at the top of Smacks, or is it more in the middle?
We have the same top four.
Oh, okay. Cool. 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 Track Attack. I've always loved this one until I get to the bottom of it. Like if I fall off and then I hate it. Then I hate my life. Some people have optimized the bottom to make it faster than the top, and I'm going to be real with you. In terms of optimizing levels, I have no interest in learning that shit because I hate the bottom of this level. But the top feels really good to play. I just really don't want to be down there with all those hammers ever. So, you know, if I'm ranking just the top, this shit's easily in smacks. If I'm ranking the whole map, I don't know. I mean, just the fact that you can optimize the bottom, I guess shows that I shouldn't fear it as much as I do. But this map's got speed going for it. The only thing that I don't really like is kind of how everyone's like all like really clumped up at the beginning, and getting hitboxed is very common, which can kill your speed or throw you off to the bottom. Especially because there's so many like there's parts of it where you're going across like really thin paths, and if you're grouped up with people, it can really it can mess with your ability to stay on the top. Uh, but you know, most of the time that doesn't happen, I suppose. So I feel pretty confident putting this in. Hmm, I think it probably still deserves a smacks. Like I do love seeing this most of the time, more than short circuit. Probably Probably still under big fans though. Probably in smacks, but below big fans for me.
So Track Attack is interesting because it has a lot of the same positives that a lot of these other openers have. You know, good use of speed, good use of learning mechanics. It has a lot of like unique obstacles that you get around and circumvent, mainly the hammers. But my problem with that is that it this is the only one I can think of where it rewards you for utilizing the quote unquote crappier play style in the bottom. Like I feel like the bottom is where in most games and most rounds in this game is what happens to you if you fail to the if you fail to utilize the risky part. Like the bottom is supposed to be like the safer, slower, but ultimately like easier path.
Yeah.
And the fact that people can utilize the bottom path to basically destroy whatever you're doing up top, it kind of de-incentivizes like the goaded players from utilizing the top part, and it's like completely antithetical to what you want in like the middle, more dangerous, high risk, high reward play styles. And the fact that the two lanes that can be accessed by either the top or the bottom are always faster slightly than the one that requires you to jump in and dive down. That always struck me as a bit strange. So, because of these very minor design decisions, I'm gonna put this in B tier nice behind Mind the Gap.
Yeah. No, I feel that, and I mirror your sentiment on that. It doesn't drag it down as much for me, um, into noise, but I 100% agree with everything you just said. I think you should want to be on the top, but the number of times I've seen these like level 70, level 80 peeps go on the bottom and just like schmoove through it way faster than I can on the top. I'm like I don't really want to deal with that, man. Just if you're good, just be on the top and be fast. Like, why are you like hardcore styling on me on the bottom when I'm just trying to like run the optimal route that I've ran for multiple seasons now in this thing? I don't know.
Yeah, because it feels like the speed that they're using on the top feels like the developer's intention, whereas the speed from the hammers and whatnot kind of feel like either an afterthought or almost accidental.
Yeah,
It's so unnatural to learn the patterns of the hammer swings.
Lily Leapers is fucking goated, dude. I
Uh,
I love Lily Leapers even more than I love Rooftop Rush. And it's not just because I'm really good at it, all right? It's it's the whole like I didn't even know for such a long time the way that diving worked with momentum. Like this is so satisfying once you learn that you can like cancel your upward momentum by diving forward and just get to the next thing and just start schmoving like right in front of people. And people's minds are like blown by the shit that I do at the end. Like when the when the trampolines are kind of tilted at like a 45-degree angle inward, that feels like the
mhm,
most common layout at the end.
yeah.
I'll go like I'll like jump dive to like the second one that's on the right, then go like left and then left. Like I don't even go back to the right. I just like really shmoo. It feels so satisfying to combo your way through the end of that, and I mean it feels satisfying to combo your way through the entire map. Really, it's just it's heavy movement, and I really like the design of this level. My buddy Ross had an unnecessary amount of trouble with this when it first came out, but he has since gotten much better at it. So yeah, no, I just think this map's really satisfying. Easy S for me.
Whew, man. I don't know if I would go that far. I don't hate this map nearly as much as I thought I did. I mean, I've gotten used to the whole bounce around, like canceling your momentum at the beginning, and admittedly I do the same thing towards the end where I go right, left, left, and then straight across. But I think this would have worked better as like a middle filler level than an opener because out of all these levels, I don't think I've ever seen a map in Fall Guys that has like sweater gamer energy than Lily Leapers just because the on a subconscious level um jump and dive for Lily leaping is so it feels so unnatural. It kind of feels like wave dashing from Melee when I
Yeah,
snap
yeah,
those
I
like,
can.
it's a very
Yeah,
like, when we're breaking down these Fall Guys levels to, like, micro very like, when you're basically exploiting the game to, like, keep the momentum going, I'm like, "Okay, I like this as a concept, just not as an opener." I still really do enjoy this level, though, like, my only problem with it is at the very end of the first batch of lilies, when you're going anywhere but the 2 ones on the side, the fact that no matter where you go at the very end of the lily pads, you can't jump over to the main lily pad at the beginning to keep the jump chain going. Kind of annoying. If they just squeeze that a little bit more, it would be a like really. We're talking like top 5 for me, but
mm,
I would put this. I'm gonna put this behind Clumsy Carnival, but in front of Full Tilt. It's gonna go in Smacks.
fair, fair. You don't have to rank it high if you don't want to. Just
Oh no,
you're not gonna hurt my feelings.
no! I don't really like. No, that's not an issue. Like I genuinely think this is a good map. Like this is a really solid map. It's just a bit too weirdly enough, just too gamery
Mm,
for an opener. And this is in the same vein as Rebound Run, but At least it doesn't have glaring problems like R&R.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think the only part where I disagree with that is that like it is gamery, but even if you're not doing the diving, as long as you're landing your jumps on the trampoline, you're still gonna make it. You're gonna make it like top 8 usually. I would always make it like top 8 even before I learned the dashing or the dashing, because you brought up wave dashing, um, the diving tech, and I like that it forced me to learn that because it made me better at a lot of other things. Um, but yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I can see where your thought process is with like it's a little bit too gamery for an open. I also do agree that it would probably make a better filler map. Um, but it's staying up in S because I just love it that much.
Yeah, although I will
Um,
say, I do think sometimes the lily pads aren't always consistent. I do feel like there's times where I'll jump on them and the character will go in directions that I didn't intend for them to do. So I do kind of have to like bite my nails every time I make one of these jumps, especially towards like the 45-degree angle at the very end.
mm,
Where I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And this is my other problem with it. When you fall off the map, I feel like you fall way longer in this map than you do any of the other ones. I
the
feel like
death
every
box
time I
is
fall off,
yeah, it's too low. I
yeah,
agree
I'm
with
like,
that.
okay, yeah. So again, it's not going to change the rating, but that's the only thing I like legitimately hate about this map is just the long death matches.
Yeah, falling at the end is too punishing. You do fall for too long. It's almost like they didn't shift up the death box. Like they put it like at the level of like the start, like below that, and then they just kept it there. They didn't shift it up for like the end part, so you still just fall forever. Um, I was gonna say something else, but I forgot it, so I don't worry about it. Um, all right, so now we've gotten to our first point-based map. To be fair, out of all of the point-based maps in the game where you have to collect stars or go through hoops. I think Bubbling Brook is one of the ones that at least has a fun design and a satisfying like min-max ability. Like if you get enough points in like the second section before you go to the final section where you're getting 5 over and over, if you can get yourself to a point where you don't even have to go back up to the top, it's kind of euphoric. Like I just got so many points that I don't even have to do a second lap through this thing. Like that's pretty fun. But actually going through it, I don't know. A lot of the time, it feels like if you take the two side routes at the beginning, yeah, you get a little bit of points, but then everybody else in the second section's already taken all the other good stuff. It feels like you have to ignore most of the first section and just go to the second section. I don't really like that about it. But and the last section, I don't know. The cars, it's not bad again, but it feels like they kind of like they sneak up on you real crazy in the last section, which is it's something you gotta watch out for. So it's not like I'm oh it's too hard, but like it's I don't know. It does feel like if you don't time the last section well, you're kind of screwed, and you really have to go back up to the top. Like if you go back up to the top with like 20 or 30 points, it's real feels bad. But for the most part, once you figure this one out and you learn, this is the thing. It's not readily apparent when you are first playing this round. And I've had to explain this to multiple people. You passively get points based on the area you are in. It does not like readily tell you that. You just have to figure it out. You gotta like watch your point total and be like, oh, I didn't just collect a star, but I got 3 points, so I'm in the second section. I feel like that should be just a little bit more like explained because I didn't know what was going on the first couple of times I played this one. Obviously, now that I know what I'm doing, it's a little bit more enjoyable. But I was kind of angry when I first played this one the first few times. I still passed, but I was like, what is going on? Like with these, what is going on with these points? Like I'm just getting points. I'm not even collecting anything. Um, for that, it definitely can't go in goaded. I don't think it goes in smacks either. I feel like most of the point total games are like inherently lower for me, but I do like it. It's not going to go in mid. In terms of a point mini game, I think it is solidly designed. But I do have issues with it. Do I like it more than Clumsy Carnival? Perhaps not. I think it's going to sit at the bottom of B in noise.
So for me, Bubbling Brock is basically they took the bones of Skyfall and said, "Hey, how can we make this better and build upon these bones?" Because it not only with Skyfall, with Skyfall, you can like kind of cheese your way through just on 2 laps, whereas Bubbling Brook, yeah, you can also cheese it, but there's a bit of a learning and more of experimental phase with it. Bubbling Brook also has a really good feature that I really wish they would bring into more games, and that's the point generation just through movement, where it rewards you not just for like making it to areas, but also sustaining and surviving there. So in theory, if you make it to like the very end, yeah, you might not get a lot of like the golden points that are there because someone else took them, but you're still generating revenue because you like the game's rewarding you for making it thus far and dodging all the obstacles, the spinning cars, the dropping platforms in the middle, the car at the very end, the
Hmm.
falls. It rewards you just by being competent. And it kind of keeps people from just sitting around and waiting for like the points to like show up and then you get them, which is very apparent in other games like the hoop shoot or not hoop shoot, the one where you're jumping through hoops like Hoopsy Daisy and
Hoopsy
whatnot.
Legends or Hoopsy Daisy. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, the fact that you basically have to, like, wait for the game to feed you points rather than just, like, subverting that by, being a decent platformer,
And I should say, when
it
I
was really,
brought
really
that up,
cool.
I do agree. I actually like that they did it. I just wish that they explained it. Like, it's nice that it's there, but it's not readily apparent that it's there until you play it a few times. You're like, oh wait, I'm passively generating the big bucks just by
Yeah,
just
so
by being in later areas.
yeah, but the game it does that kind of like you have like the little ticker going up over and over again, but the problem is that you're completely caught off guard by the sheer speed of the cars, which I think kind of destroys people the first time they play it because up until this point, you've never seen an obstacle or like an enemy in the game like be this fast. Like I think the fastest thing prior to this was like the rhinos, and they always had like a good clear window for when they were going to attack you or not. This they like literally just it's like they spawn out of thin air.
Mm,
So I get why that catches people off guard the first time. But once you know the routes, like they are easier on repeat runs.
yeah, it's like at least
Out
they
of
are on
all the
fixed tracks.
yeah, that too. I don't think this is a bad track. I don't even think it's mid, but I do see a lot of like, okay, I can see why this is no one's favorite. I'm gonna put this uh above short circuit, but below rebound run because it's not nearly as fun or interesting to play as rebound.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Button Bashers is it's a game.
Oh
I
God.
There's only one fun thing about Button Bashers for me, and that's like at the very beginning when the middle is lit up. It's the same every time. It's the middle. You jump on one of the ones that has the fan, you ride the fan up, and you get the middle. Every other moment in Button Bashers is so based on RNG. Like, can you have better movement than the other person? Yeah. Yeah, you can. Does that make it fun to play? No. I end up like just like trashing on some kid by like 20 points and I just end up having to sit there. I'm like, "Yeah, dude. I'm like we got like 30 seconds left in this game and there's no way you're coming back. I guess I'm just going to sit here and like watch you struggle in vain." And it's like I don't enjoy doing that, really. I mean, it's funny the first couple times, and the last every time after that, you just feel bad, or like it feels like it's either a stomp or you get stomped, and there's really no middle ground. I haven't had a good battle in Button Bashers for a very long time. Uh, this one is going to be the first D tier. I think this is pretty badly designed. I'm not going to put it in F because I think that there's some more, especially if we're like ranking everything in Fall Guys, there's some real bad stuff that I consider to be way worse than Button Bashers, but it's not a good one. I think it's pretty bad. D garbage.
I could see that. Button Bashers, it's really good. I think Button Bashers would work really well as a finale, right? If there it
Mm,
only comes down to like 2 people, it works really well for that regard, or like trimming the fat down for a finale. But the fact that it can be the second round in, And when you play that, the only time Button Bashers is good is when you have an opponent around equal level as you are. But I don't think Fall Guys has the ability to like seed people out as you would with like an NFL season, for example. But Button Bashers has too much RNG and too much demoralizing momentum where you are literally ahead, not just through sheer skill, but also through the generation of like the buttons and where they spawn. Because outside of that opener, it's so demoralizing to beat somebody by like 20 points and you're waiting for like the clock to go down. You're like, come on. And you feel like you're dragging out their torture.
Yeah,
Um, it's not that interesting. It's not that fun. It's not you, there's not even a good strategy to get it over with quickly. It's just every time it pops up, it's like the worst thing imaginable. It's just I hate playing it.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's fun when you have people around same skill, but that happens very infrequently in these lobbies. So for that, it's not poorly designed. It doesn't have glitches, but it's still going in garbage. D tier for me.
Yeah. Glad we agreed on that because I didn't think we were gonna disagree, but I was looking at it and I was like, yeah, this is gonna be the first D. I knew it was coming up. I was like, yeah, no, it's not good. Clumsy Crusade though is fantastic. This is one of the best maps they have ever made. Uh, I can't think of a single part of this map that isn't like just godlike. It's seriously so good. Uh, I have no complaints with Clumsy Crusade. I love it, and I have since it first came out. The only bad part about it, and it's not the map's fault, is that when it first came out, it was it was broken where it whenever I got it, it would kick me out of the lobby. Like it just wouldn't load the level. And the
The
same thing
hell?
happened to my buddy Ross. So I don't know what was going on with like the Fall Guys servers at that point, but it just wouldn't load the level. Ever since it loaded the freaking level for the first time, this thing has been S tier for me. So it's going up there. It's top of S at the moment.
Whew. So it's not the top of S for me, but I'm still putting it below Rooftop Rush for S. Like out of all the games that lead into the finale, with the exception of one, and we will get there very soon, this is like the peak. Like this is uh great penultimate episode because it has everything you want. It has the dipping, you have the use of the air platforms, you have really interesting items to dodge in the case of the bats and the giant pendulums towards the end. You can utilize runs on it. You can utilize the little hammers at the end, the jumping and diving over the open platforms at the finish line. Really satisfying to nail down. It incentivizes grabbing. It incentivizes borderline dirty play. It's you can use like the slime to go down the beginning and then jump off, hit the platform, use the bouncing momentum to go even further. There's so many cool little like micro gimmicks going on in this level. Oh, to say nothing of the little handlebar that you can use to grab over on, hit the bounce platform at the end and get even further. It has a really good. It's like playing a Tarzan level. It's so
Really?
cool.
Yeah.
And just like it, out of all like the Halloween themed ones, this has such strong visualization to it. Where you're just, it's all about you see the tree, climb the tree, bam. It's so intuitive that it fills you with a sense of adventure. So for that, S tier goaded.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's such a good level. And so is this next one. Hyperdrive Heroes.
Oh,
We we both know where this one's going. Uh
oh God.
goated as hell. For me, do I like it more than Clumsy Crusade? That's the real question. This is rough for me. It's hard because I like it a lot more than Lily Leapers, but I think it's gonna go below it for the sheer fact that the beginning with all those lasers can be really if you get a bad hitbox on the laser, it's like an out that feels horrible. Like I just got like either pushed or hitboxed into this laser and I'm just off. And I had like basically no control over that. That is the only part of the level that I have anything bad to say about, really. Um every other part of it is just sick nasty. Though I really wish that when it cut down, and again, this isn't the level's fault. When it cuts down the lobby to like 3 people left, just give us the fucking final. Why am I playing Slime Climb after Hyperdrive Heroes with 3 people? Why am I playing, like last season, like what was it? Skyline Stumble round 3 with 3 dudes. That's stupid. He just knocked it right. Give me the final. But yeah, no, that's like my only gripe, like that, and like the kind of lasers at the beginning. But they are fun to ride, the lasers at the beginning. Like when you can get them and like you're going up in the air is fun. It's like euphoric. There's a lot of like really cool movement where you can like get shot up by the laser and you dive up on top of like the archway, and then you jump down and you're still schmooving. And then there's that one part where like if you get to it early, like while you're waiting for the thing, you get to kind of like greet everybody like, oh, this guy's a gamer. Oh, that guy's a gamer. Oh, these are the guys I watch out for. Um, and then yeah, I think the part that's right after that, um, is a big. It's a big like awareness test. Are you aware of everybody around you? Are you watching out for grabbers? If not, you're dead. You gotta be aware. Like this is a big teacher of how cutthroat Fall Guys can be because people will grab you right in front of those bars just as they do in Jump Club, and I feel it's a lot more valid in this one just because of how much of a lobby killer it is and the reputation it's garnered over the seasons. Like it's really it's a hard map, but it's really cool. But you gotta watch out. You gotta watch out for everybody around you. There's multiple parts where people can grab you and push you off. And if you're not aware of that and you're not playing around it, then you're gonna regret it. But I think that only adds to the fun of the map to me at this point. And it can be frustrating when you get grab killed or something on Hyperdrive Heroes. It can, but it's a teacher. I feel in this map as opposed to something like Jump Club, where if I get grab killed, I want to throw my computer out the window. Um, but yeah, no, I love this one. Goated. Gonna be second to Clumsy Crusade for me, but I love it.
So, Hyperdrive Heroes, if my count is correct, this is the 16th thing that we've ranked on this tier list so far. So this is like we're at the halfway point, and it is so perfect that this is where the ranking is going to peak for me because this is not only an S tier goated map for me. This is probably, spoiler alert, my favorite map in all of Fall Guys, at least this iteration of it, because it has everything I want in a Fall Guys level. And if Dragon Dashers is like a really good level if you're trying to go for Sonic the Hedgehog, and Rooftop Rush is really reminiscent of Mario, Hyperdrive Heroes kind of plays like the last escape level from a Resident Evil game. And what I mean by that is that you're trying to stay on this moving train at all times, which has like a fixed time level for it itself. So it is a time level technically, and you still have to like pay attention to where the train's going. So it kind of keeps you on your feet. But meanwhile, you're also dodging all sorts of stuff, including the biggest threat this game has, the other players. Because I've
Yeah.
never seen, I don't know what it is about this level with grabbing and that function. But this thing, with the exception of the fruit guessing game, just shreds through lobbies like no other. It goes through like a slasher villain. It's so brutal. Like it's a very technical level and a really good round 3 for weeding out before we get to the finale, and it does a really good level on that. But it's pretty telling how the biggest problem this round has is stuff that's completely out of its control, and that it kills so much of the lobby half the time, but hell, majority of the time, that by the time you get to like God forbid round 3, you're left with basically what 3 people. I don't think it's been a hot minute since I've seen a lobby make it through in the double digits with Hyperdrive Heroes. I love playing it, but I would prefer it to be round 3 just because of the sheer chaos of like the lobby that it just kills through.
Yeah.
But still, it has great segments. None of the parts, like they all bleed into each other pretty seamlessly. So it's like, oh, we've got the basic train level with the lasers coming out. Oh, we have the giant gate we gotta go through and the 2 moving little robot things in the middle. We got that giant spinner in the middle, followed by the other 3 spinners going. Then we have the series of breaking bridges that you get to. And then finally, they did do something to change it recently with the very end, where they force you to like wait for the train and then go to the left or right. That's kind of weird. But outside of that, S tier, goaded, peak Fall Guys level design. They should be really proud of themselves for making this.
Agreed. And I will say that variation at the end, it is not new. It has existed before. I do remember seeing it where they forced you to wait, and then there were like, because you know how it is on like the left and right now. It's basically like three straight lines on either side of hexes where you can kind of like jump from one to the next, as opposed to just the flat the one that we're used to, where it's just flat, just a bunch of hexes that you can jump to, um, like early. But it has existed before. I don't remember if it was like right when the map came out that they had that, but it felt like they didn't do that at all last season. It was guaranteed to be the one where you could jump to it, whereas the one that's in this season, it's either or. You know, it's a variation. I still think that both of them are like equally as good. I found some people today when I was streaming, and they're like high level people too. There's like a guy like with an owl costume in his 50s who was like superstar. He just jumped and dove, just thinking he could make that jump. I'm like, brother, my guy, it's too far. It's a different variation. What have you done? You just completed the whole map only to just kill yourself. Jump Club. So if there was like a round in Fall Guys that to me would be the definition of stale, Jump Club would probably be it. If I was ranking this is kind of tragic for me because I loved Jump Club when this game first came out. Then they started adding a bunch of different stuff to it. I don't know if you remember the season where they added like hex tiles to the outside and shit like that too. Um, it it's gone through a lot of different iterations, but the base Jump Club to me, I don't really have a lot of fun playing it anymore. I think the most fun part is when you can like get yourself riding on the green thing and you like walk to the middle and you blow people's minds for a second before you have to jump off. That's pretty fun. Um, but other than that, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of fun with it. Getting grab killed on Jump Club is another thing that just makes me want to like stop playing for the night. Like I just shake my head, flip off the camera, and move on with my life. But it's not feel good when somebody grabs you right before the friggin' bar is coming and you have absolutely no control over yourself and you just get yeeted. Yeah, I hate it. Um, and it felt like that didn't really used to happen. It would happen sometimes on like Jump Showdown, but not so much the club. The fruit is meaningless. I never even noticed that it's there. Uh, Most of the time, I just don't really. I see it and I'm like, yep, okay. I either get grab killed or it's the same as it always has been, where I just live without really trying. And I don't know. I guess the variation of the number of green spokes is like a nice mix up. When it's three, it can be pretty hard. When it's one, it's boring as hell, and then two is somewhere in the middle. But I don't enjoy this one that much. I would say again, like if I ranked this right when the game first came out, it probably would have been like A. But now it's fallen all the way to C. Like I don't really enjoy it as much as basically anything above it. It'll probably be below Mind the Gap too. In mid. Just I don't have that much fun with it anymore.
Yeah, for me, this is kind of like the Fall Guys equivalent of eating Lay's potato chips, where they have I get it. They have so many iterations of this thing where I can't think of any Fall Guys level that has like, oh, it's Jump Club, but it's with fruit. Oh, it's Jump Club, but this time it's on a spinning wheel and the bars that are hitting you are going counterclockwise or whatever the hell, or they're going up and down as opposed to left and right, or it's Jump Club, but this time it has like disappearing parts. Ooh, really creative. And maybe it's just because we have played it to death, but every time it pops up, I'm just like, I hope it's in the second one instead of around three, just so I can get rid of like all the newbies and be over with quicker. But the only thing it rewards you for is jumping and timing. And when one of Fall Guys' biggest issue is like the latency with everyone's input, yeah, that could be a problem. Especially for me lately, where I can't tell you how many times where I've made a jump and it was clear to go, and then all of a sudden the game will freeze, and I'll just find myself yeeted across the map. I'm like, oh, well, that's tragic. Uh, I, it's functional and it's not like completely brain dead like button bashers, but at the same time it's got like nothing really going for it. And every time I eat this Lay's potato chips, I'm just like, I'd rather have Fritos. So for me, C, mid as fuck.
Give me the sun chips, brother. Yeah, no, definitely see.
Yeah.
Skiffall. Um, I like Skiffall, and I do have to say I'm biased towards Skiffall for the simple fact that this was how I initially, and I've gotten infallible so many times over at this point that I haven't kept track, but this was how I initially got it, where they did the event that was like I don't remember what it was, 3 or 4 rounds like back to back to back of Skiffall, and you would just it like if you were good at it, you would just kind of just get the wins. It only took like maybe 3 failed attempts or something before I got infallible. So there is the euphoric moment of getting infallible that is irreversibly tied to Skiffall for me. So there is some bias there. But I do think that overall, like planning out your route, executing your route, maintaining your speed, I finished before I finished before anyone else, like 90 to 95% of the time on this one, just because I'm just really good at it at this point. Um, I like it a lot, but it is quite simple. Some of the variations where they have the shit in the middle of the ice are kind of annoying, and some of them add to it, but some of them are like, oh my god, come on, like really, like the flip panels right at the end where I'm trying to get to the goal, and I'm just, I don't know. And then the one with the ice, you know what I'm talking about? Where it's the ice hexes at the
Yes.
end, and you have to break one of them, and it just slows the whole thing down like needlessly. I don't like that version. Um, and I will say, like, I'm gonna fight the bias here. I don't think this deserves S at all, and I'm gonna put it in A because I still love playing this. I think it's a big like movement festival for me. It's gonna go in A, but it's not gonna go like near the top. It's probably gonna go like above short circuit and cylinder stumble, but maybe like below track attack. Like I'm always happy to see it and I love playing it, but it just like design wise, like I have to admit, like it's not peak. It's just good. So that's where it is for me.
So there's one thing about this level that's really underutilized to the point where I've actually never seen another person do this. The first, like the gold section, or like the first gold ring, and like so the first big ring with the gold in the middle, that almost feels like a tease because half the time you can't even access it. The only
Yeah.
way you can get that is if you have the little springy platform at the very beginning, but that's not always guaranteed to spawn. So it kind of just feels like something that should have been patched out or like addressed pretty easily. And I get that it's supposed to reward people for like taking the more dangerous path, if you should say that. But Skyfall, out of all of these events, is probably the quickest one to just get over and done with, just because of like I finished this in like literally 2 rounds. Like the longest I've gone is like 3 laps because I got like yeeted out at the end by the giant spinning ball at the end. But
Yeah.
I've played this one so many times, and there's no variation in the spinning like the little wheels, because you know that, oh, by the time I get back there into the second round, I'll hit a bronze, I'll hit a silver, and I'll hit a gold, and I'll hit another gold in the first round, and then a second gold, or maybe a silver, depends on how many people have crashed into you. But like if you're still going in this like 3 rounds in, you've either fallen off too many times or you're just like really new to the game. But I don't know. It's a filler level. Like I never get excited every time I see it. I'm just like, oh, cool. This is cool. It's more fun to watch than it is to play. Admittedly,
Mm.
it kind of feels like the bare bones version of Bubbling Brook. So for that, it's not bad, it's not mid, it's not garbage, but it is at the very like near the bottom of nice for me. I'm gonna put it below Bubbling Brook and above Short Circuit because at least it has its decency to be over with quickly.
Mm. Yeah. No, that's yeah. I feel the exact same way. It's like it's very rinse and repeat. Like once you know your route going through this, you're gonna do the exact same thing every time. I think the only difference that I feel is like it's a satisfying rinse and repeat for me, where I can go and do the same thing every time, get it over quickly, and I know the amount of time I've put into the game that has gone into me like knowing this route. So I kind of feel satisfied when I finish before everybody else while I'm doing it. But Yeah, no, it's just the same every time. So I can see where you're coming
Uh,
from with that, and that's why it's definitely not S or even close to top of A for me.
yeah, I'm not to jump the gun, but I do get the problem that like we're gonna have some very major issues with the next two levels, and I'm pretty certain that like a lot of the issues that we had with Ski-Fall and some of these other ones are gonna pop up here pretty soon. With like, if Ski-Fall is too consistent, yeah, that's gonna be the lead into the next one.
Yeah. I do not like Skyline Stumble. There, there was a time where I thought it was good, like when it first came out. It was fine, and like it utilized a low grav and like the disappearing bridge and stuff. Like it was all new and it was novel. Playing it as often as I did last season, it felt like it was in like every single freaking like match or like every other. And the end is the
Oh.
worst thing in the game. It's so bad. It's the fraud, like the pinball flippers are god awful. Like guys, like it's not good. It's really bad. And I feel like there was one time. I mean, like I don't know. I guess they've tried a couple of different things to alleviate the BS of it. Like they added that hammer last season where you could kind of take it and get up to maybe the second or third level to like dodge some of the bullshit. But for the most part, this thing just sucks. Like I really hate the end. I really do. It's one of my least favorite things in the entire game to deal with. Um I I don't know if I justify putting this in F? I want to hear what you say about it before I decide where I'm putting this.
Okay, so Skyline Stumble kind of is like it's interesting because it starts off really strong. The jump in the beginning where you're doing like the slow like boom and it's like going through the three platforms
Yep.
is fun until they add in fruit. And I can't like the RNG level with that at the very beginning where you'll plan out your route, but how the hell are you going to circumvent the fucking banana at the side that just like because of its weird disaligned hitbox just smacks you into the hole. So
Yep.
that's strike one. Strike two, and it seems to have, even at the beginning, when you're at the bottom level, theoretically, the death box that you're jumping through, it's like they said, hey, you know that the worst feature of Lily Pad, whatever the hell it's called?
Lily
Um,
Leapers, yeah.
yeah, Lily Leapers with like where you're falling for an eternity. Let's add that, but make it that the entire level. Then we get to the bars, or like jumping over the invisible bridges, fine. Going through like trying to dodge the cannon fire, fine. Going through the spinning loop with the little grab thingies, right, that you normally grab onto to swing, like the swings. That's
Yep.
fine
Yep.
too. So it starts off horribly. Sorry, yeah, not strong. Starts off horribly. It peters out in the middle where it's like, okay, the middle I can kind of see the parts. They're not mending together, but at least they're memorable.
Yeah.
And then you get to the ending, and oh my god, the ending, playing the ending with the pinball section is like playing the pachinko machine level from Mario
Mario
Sunshine, where
fucking
with with the lily pads. With the lily pads, you know what? They're inconsistent, but your skill can circumvent that. With the purple platforms in Mind the Gap, your skill can circumvent that. But this shit, there is no way to know for certain where you're going to land when the pillars go up and down. I've had times where I'll be in the middle and we'll go up to the top. And I'm like, cool, bet, bitchin'. And I'll run that same experiment in the middle, and for no reason, it'll shoot me with half the distance, stuck in the middle, have to redo it two, three, four, five times. And you're like, well, shit, if the middle is this bad, why not just use the stuff at the ends to get around that? That would be good in most levels, but the turns you have to go there, right? Instead of like the the friggin' pinball shit is so fucking slow
it's slow as
that
hell.
you're like, you know what? I'd rather lose the match. I would rather like I've never seen that with another Fall Guys level where the middle is the best part. Um, fuck this level, garbage.
Yeah, it's
Just
terrible.
above, yeah. It's not dog shit because it's competently made, kind of. It's not completely brain dead like Button Bashers or a goddamn fruit counting game, but I cringe every time this thing pops up. E tier garbage.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna mirror that. It's going bottom of D. It's going below button bashers for me. Um,
Oof.
but it like it just barely saves itself from F. And I actually thought of this while you were talking. Do you remember? Um, it's not Hyperdrive Heroes, Hoverboard Heroes, where
Yes.
at the end of Hoverboard Heroes there was a version of it that had the pinballs, and it was arguably worse because if the inconsistency hit you then, you're in the drink. You're out of the game. It's like the most aggravating thing ever that like this extremely inconsistent mechanic is in two places at the end of the level. Like at least if you're gonna punch me in the face, just do it and get it over with. Don't make me go through this like mediocre level just to then go up to this thing and just oh god, yeah. Anyway,
So I do have one
Hey,
more thing to say about Skyline Stumble. Like I was thinking of ways to like make the map somewhat better, and the only
yeah,
thing I
because we
could
do
draw
that, like
upon,
we play the game so often. It's like you wanna like have feedback to give the devs. Like there's stuff you could do to make this less awful.
yeah, but the only thing I could think about is replacing the ending gimmick with the one like basically stealing it from Hoverboard Heroes, where instead of having like the pinball machine, you have the giant fan that like pushes you into an exit.
Yep.
That'd be fine, but it would just be tacked on at the end. You can feel it. And thinking about it, it has all these cool gimmicks like back to back that on their own, the jumping down and or navigating like the closing doors, the closing gates, the jump pillars in the beginning. It has all these cool little segments in a vacuum, but none of them play together well, and they come off almost as almost like a platypus, where you kind of think, "Is this? Why was this thing stitched together so poorly?"
Yeah. It's a weird Frankenstein level. Just the it's not satisfying at all. Like especially even if you're having a good run, then it's like your face just hits a brick wall with the end, and you're just like, all right, well now I'm not enjoying myself anymore. It's capped off so horribly that you don't ever want to get it. I am never ever happy to see this. But the next one is I don't know how you feel about Slime Climb, man, but to me, Slime Climb has a very, very special place in my heart. And the amount of different things that I've learned about this level to optimize it, like, if you're a newbie, is a level hard? Yes. Is it very completable as long as you make your jumps and don't get too hasty? Absolutely. But if you're experienced in this game, like you've seen the clip where I have like the perfect run, right? Where I did those two really hard skips and like the regular skips and stuff too. Like an experienced player can still have a blast with this game. And I will say, Slime Scraper is better, but Slime Climb is still fantastic. And I every single time that this comes up, and no matter how much I've played it, I love this one. It's both a skill check and a skill like increaser. Like it's a good teacher for newer players and it's a good teacher for experienced players because there's shit you can do in this map that is further optimize like already optimized gameplay. There's always you can always get better at it. I feel. And now where I am in it, I don't know how I can get better at it, but I'm open to learning because before the guy Mihu the King popped into my stream and showed me like two skips that were insane. I thought I was like king of slime climb. Huh. Turns out I was still just a plebeian. I knew nothing. And now it's even better. So I love Slime Climb. It's a great one, and I am gonna put it in S. I don't know how you feel about it. For me, it's actually right below Hyperdrive Heroes in S, above Lily Leapers and Rooftop Rush.
So, Slime Climb, I personally think would have worked way better as an opener because the way the map is designed, you can cut through in a straight line, doing a lot of like the dangerous moves, like when the little bridges that push you off, you can ride those to the top. The little bouncy pads that put you off, you can ride those to the top. The fucking hammers in the slime that spin around, you can use those to get to the top. There are so many ways to like use the level design, but they don't feel like you're breaking the game when you're utilizing them. But you can still go like bob and weave left and right and keep the safe route. It also has the highest chance that I've seen with populating the penguin and trying to guide him at the end, even though
Bert,
there's no logical reason to carry Bert.
we love
There,
him.
there's basically like it's free Paragon points right there just to like save the penguin. Like I really wish that could be an achievement of its own, but
Yes, it should be.
uh, it has all sorts of little gimmicks and variations, whether it's the ball launcher at the end, or the fan that's going up and down, or the little spinners, or more platforms that like push you into the goo, or like the hammers that don't go like the same direction. Like there's so many cool things about this level. It is an S tier level for me. I would put it below Hyperdrive and Rooftop. I think it's the one that I enjoy racing in the most. But it's an older map, and you can kind of tell. But out of the older maps, this is like it almost feels like a map from the future because you're like, okay, this is what would eventually lead to bigger, broader maps like Clumsy Crusade and
Yup.
God, the Rooftop Rush, where it's like, okay, we have a lot of little gimmicks, but they're all like floor-based levels, and the slime does creep up on people, so there is a timer on it, kind of, but it's not so overwhelming that it like just kills the entire lobby like Hyperdrive Heroes does. And
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. It feels like the easier version of Hyperdrive. So good pacing, no problems. It's consistent, has a strong foundation, strong set pieces that are all they flow into each other so well. It's everything that Skyline Stumble should have been. And even with its more annoying parts, like the fan getting learning that is kind of tricky the first couple times,
yeah,
but even that cannot keep this from S goated. So, and that's where it's staying. This is my bronze star right now.
absolutely. Yeah, I put it third as well. Did you put it above Clumsy Crusade?
I put it above Clumsy Crusade, which is also an S tier,
That's
but
a
it's below
testament to it.
Rooftop. Yeah, yeah. Like I could. Okay, if someone were to tell me that any one of these four that are up here, like I can even see uh, Lily Leapers as like I can see that where it's like okay, I don't agree with it necessarily, but I respect it and I see it. Whereas if you say something like Button Mashers is your best, you're just wrong.
Just get out of my stream. If Button Bashers is the top of S tier for you, you need to leave. I'm sorry, you're not welcome here anymore. So it's Jover for you. Yeah, I'll just have one more thing to say about Slime Climb just to cap it off, and you touched on it as well. Um, the fact that this has led to so many different like similar levels, if not like the same like sort of gimmick, like it led to like a straight line led to Slime Scraper, right? Like we all knew the Slime Scraper was like the successor to Slime Climb when that came out, and then it also led to like Pine Climb, which is one of my favorite finals, if not my favorite final of all time. Like there's like offshoots that have this same sort of setup as Slime Climb that either do it like better or similar. It's the love that the community felt for Slime Climb, and the devs knew this, spawned so much goated shit. Like it's probably just like it's one of the biggest like roots in the entire game for like games that have been here since the beginning, and Slime Climb has been here since the beginning. Um, it's had some of the most successful offshoots in my opinion out of any of them.
Yeah, this
Uh,
to me is like if you were to adapt Fall Guys to like a Netflix show or like an animated series, for example, I think Slime Climb would have to be like to Fall Guys what Bloody Tears is to Castlevania, which is like if you're making an adaptation and you want to respect the fans and you're only keeping so many elements from those games, this has to be there. This is peak
100%.
Fall Guys. It's like the community loves it. It has great level design. It is a solid foundation for everything that's come afterward. And out of all the course levels, this is one of the ones where like just the fact that its staying power is so strong that even years later, people still get giddy to see it.
Yep. I don't feel less love for this game or for that level than I did when the game came out. I feel more. I'm more excited to see it now than I even was back then, and I've always loved this level. I think it used to be my favorite when the game first came out, like even including finals and everything.
Yeah, but it is pretty telling how even with like the quote unquote bigger and better matches that have come out after it, the fact that it's still this high up is a testament to how greatly designed this map is.
It's a titan, it really is. All right, so Slime Saloon. I think we both feel. I think we both feel a similar kind of way about this one.
Mm.
It, it. I don't know. So it does. What did I say about earlier? Like it felt like it was just walking in a straight line. I said that about Mind the Gap earlier. And you disagreed with it. Understandably so, because Mind the Gap has a little bit more like complexity to certain paths. Slime Saloon, not only does it feel like you're just walking in a straight line and you're just trying to optimize this straight line, how straight can I make this line? Can I do dives to get slightly faster while I'm doing this straight line? Can I jump slightly earlier while like a slime thing is going down to get like a fifth of a second more speed? Like it's not fun to optimize. It's really not fun to go through. It's I I don't really have fun with it. I can't in good conscience, I can't rate this any higher than C, and it's probably gonna go in D. Like I really just don't have I don't even have that much to say about it. It's just boring. Like even the end where the giant slime what the hell am I gonna call these? The
Cheese
giant
wheels.
slime cheese wheel. Yeah, there you go. Are like bouncing down at you and stuff, and it's acting like it's more intense than it is. It just it's still just like wait for them to go by, jump past them, finish the level. I just don't have fun with it in any way, really any part of it, especially the part where like the giant slime or like rectangles are kind of going along the ground really fast. Like if you're not on the optimal line, those are just annoying to deal with. And while I kind of like respect what they tried at that part, I think it fell flat, as I do with most of the level. I'm gonna put this in D tier. Probably like top of D tier, above Button Bashers maybe, but like D tier is D tier, brother. It's kind of bad. Pretty garbo.
So I would have put this in C tier mid if it weren't for a few things, and it's namely out of all the Fall Guys maps, this is the only one that is basically on a program level, it's actually broken because I don't know if it's like if it's just me, but I can't tell you how many times I've gone through this level where the um the
Are you gonna talk
squares
about
that
that
you
little lip?
what lip?
That little lip that when one of the slime doors is kind of like lowering and raising, there's like a lip where if you if you don't jump before you hit that lip, it'll cancel your jump and you'll fall right into the slime.
Oh
Sorry, I
no,
forgot
not
to
even
mention that. That was
not
annoying, but anyway.
not even that. No, for me it's the fact that so for number one, those cheese wheels at the very end, I don't get okay, so let me rewind real quick. I don't know how you can have a level that looks like something out of a Mad Max movie, and yet half the time it's the most boring, uneventful thing imaginable because it feels it's very Dark Souls esque in that half the battle is just waiting for the stuff for the guard to go down, you move forward. You wait for the guard to go down, you move forward. The only way to circumvent that is to have a perfect run at the beginning and you're doing the bob and dump weaving where you're like you hit the bottom and then you belly flop off the brown and red striped areas at the beginning and then
Yeah,
move forward. And then the cheese wheels at the very end have a tendency to get stuck while they're moving down. So you'll have like two or three of them that are stuck there, and you can just like slide across. So that's a glitch there. Then you have the one where the beams are moving up and down. Sometimes you'll clearly see people land on this thing, and sometimes yourself, just because of like latency, and won't kill you for some reason. Then
yeah,
there's times where you'll jump and the bar will be nowhere near you, but the game will read like the hitbox will say, "Oh, well, I touched you, so you're going back to the beginning." And this is the only time, or this is one of the only maps where I feel like I'm constantly getting janked up by the levels, not by its layout, but just by its programming. Like even more than Skyline Stumble, because at least with Stumble, it only had that one area that was jank. Here, I feel like the jank was like the core design philosophy, where I feel like even though I know the map and even though I'm running in a straight line, I still cannot maximize it all the way just because of how poorly the level is like just fundamentally designed. It's the only one I can think of that's actually broken. And for that reason, as much as I think it's like a cool design and layout and fun as a race, I also have to throw it in D tier garbage.
I'm actually going to move it down to bottom of D tier too, because I thought about it, right? And we were talking about ways to fix Skyline Stumble. Like, we can think of certain things to do that would make it a lot better.
Mhm.
I don't think I don't think that applies to Slime Saloon. I think the whole level is bad. Like, I really don't think you could really do much to it besides maybe add like conveyors or like some more stuff to dodge that's not just like slime chunks in different varieties coming careening at you from the side of the screen. Like, I can't really genuinely come up with anything, at least not right now, without more thought put into it. Like a way to fix this and make it more playable. It's just kind of hard baked D. It is that bad.
Yeah, it's a map that like when you play the first couple times, you can kind of see the appeal of it, but every time after like the third, like it just even if you like it, you have to admit it gets worse with every subsequent playing of it. And unlike Skyline Stumble, where there's like one problem with it, here the entire level is the problem. So
Exactly.
even though I like it more than Button Bashers, just because it's a course and I like those things more than like a one-on-one, like a volleyball type, this is this is basically second to last for me, only being better than Button Bashers. But again, it's Button Bashers.
Dude,
Of course, I kind of feel like a course level should be better than this.
I agree. I am I am kind of happy that you mentioned the volleyball one, like volleyball, for a second, because I think we would hard disagree on that one. I freaking love volleyball. It's not one that we're gonna rank right now, but in terms of like a 1v1, that's like peak for me. Anyway, moving
I could take it
on.
or leave it.
Yeah, it depends on, I guess, the kind of match that you get. Like, sometimes it's basically impossible for anyone to score any points, or you're just stomping. But I like the concept. Um. Anyway, Swiveler is bad. It's it's in my opinion the most frustrating map in the entire game to get grab killed on, bar none. Because like you're already moving so fast, the fact that somebody can just grab you for like half a nanosecond and you can't jump, you're off the map and there's nothing you can do. Like the whole map is moving fast except for when here's another thing I hate about it. When it doesn't swivel. When the swiveler ceases its function. It just doesn't move. It's even more boring way to play an already bad level. Um it's the same every single time. All you're doing is jumping over bars or like the what I don't even know what to call those things. The one that like they're like jump ropes, but I don't know. I guess I'll just call them jump ropes. Like the jump ropes and the bars, that's it. You dodge the hammer, go around again, do the same thing again. Oh, is there somebody who's like aggressive behind you? Oh, you get grabbed. Oh, you're dead. That's it. You could do nothing about that. And somehow they survive every freaking time because that's just how it works. Uh, it's it's a terrible level. I have no fun with the Swiveler anymore, and it sucks too, right? Because I actually like I did kind of like it when it initially came out. I thought it was like just decently fun survival level. Um, but now it's terrible. Now it's outclassed by like everything else in the game, and I have no love for it anymore. And it is worse than mid. It's gonna go in D, and it probably deserves to be above like Button Bashers and Skyline Stumble. So I'll put it like I guess top of D, but that's not with any love. It's still bad.
So Swiveler I believe the design philosophy for this was like they got into a room, the developers, and said, "Hey, remember that event Jump Club? You know, the one that nobody really liked. What if we took that, made it like made it like 3D ish, where like the you're moving and like the hazards are not necessarily like the hazards are stationary, but the ground is moving, and we made it worse." And we made it to where it's the biggest like it is the biggest lobby killer as far as time goes. Like I don't think there's a single game that for whatever reason, like I know it's limited to killing like only up to 9 people at a time, but those people fall off hard and fast. And for that, I have to be kind of grateful because it is a very like brain dead game to play where it's like, okay, every time I go into over mode or overtime on this map, I'm like, all right, this is a lobby gamer, and then outside of getting rid of plebs, it doesn't really have a decent function. So I guess that's where it gets the name the Swiller from. Is that just it cuts all the fat off the bone, but like it's also it's not that engaging for new players because it kills them instantly, and it's not that engaging for pro players because it's mindless. You feel like you're going through the motion more so than like any other map, and it has like it's trying to capture the same feel as like a Dragon Dashers or a Big Fan or a Slippery Slope where we got a lot of speed going.
Satisfying attempt
Yeah, it
attempt at satisfying speed.
looks it looks like speed, but the whole time you're on a treadmill. You're moving fast, but you're going nowhere.
Yeah.
So I'm done dragging this one out. This is going in. This is the garbage here for me. But it's above Skyline Stumble Saloon. I'm sorry, it's above Skyline and Slime Saloon because at least there's no glitchy elements that like basically destroy the game. So it's well made shit. I'll give it that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's finely crafted, jewel encrusted shit, but it's that just stinks just the same, you know? Uh it's just like it feels like it's trying to make you turn your brain off, but then somebody grabs you and you're like, oh, now like I couldn't have my brain turned off like the rest of the map is begging me to do because now I've been grabbed and killed instantly. And it's all
Yeah.
right. I'd rather not play that ever again. Uh, all right, top of the trash. This is such a cool level, dude. Like, see that? What a concept! Like, just take King of the Hill, slap it into Fall Guys with like a bunch of random crap all around. I don't know. I think this is both like the level itself, not just like the concept of the level. The level itself is made pretty well. Like if you're on the left and the right side, like starting, you both get there like the exact same time. Hitting somebody off, there's solid recovery, especially if there's like a lot of aggression going on at the top. You can get back up there and you can get your revenge, um, which is always satisfying. Uh, I think that the only thing that I don't really like is that this map kind of encourages like bullying. Like if somebody sees like TTV in my name or something and they really want to like stream snipe me, they can make pretty much certain if they're a good enough player that I can't stay in that middle part. Unless I hit them, like recognize that that person is trying to get me out and then I hit them back. That's the only part that I'm not like the hugest fan of, but I think that this level is like really solid. I'm usually happy to see it. Um, and I like the chicken bat as like a utility that they added to the game. I think that certain games where it's like the point ones, not this last season, but seasons before, where like you have to hit the balls or whatever with the chicken bat and break them to get points. I think that that's a extreme underutilization of the chicken bat. But here they did it, they did it clean. The way that the chicken bat works. Um, I don't think that it doesn't crack S for me personally, but I think it is an A. It's solid. I think this smacks most of the time. Um, and you can play it slow. Like you could just stand there in there and like dodge everybody else's bats, or you can be a freaking murderer and just go after everybody. And I kind of like both approaches to it. Um, where am I gonna put you though? Probably higher than track attack. Maybe not. Maybe not above big fans or slippy slopes. I think it's probably around here, like middle of smacks tier.
Okay. So top of the trash has it's one of the few things that's not a course, but it has to. They wanted to do something different, and they said, okay, what is a feature that we have in this game that we can build the entire level around, and that's the chicken bat, like the rubber chicken bat.
Yeah.
So it's every part of this game or this round revolves around that, and it's such a simple concept, but it's so good that kind of like infected, right, or like this game's version of infected. I honestly could see the argument of why this could be made its own game mode because the whole imagine a team-based King of the Hill, right, with like top of the trash where like the top point or like the place where you get points changes depending on where it is. So like instead of just being at the top, sometimes it'll be at the subsection, sometimes it'll
Mm.
be at the beginning. I think there's a lot of DNA that they could build off this, and not to like spoil this, but I think they looked at the ending of this and said, "Hey, what can we do, or what's a level that we can make for a finale that we can like turn this into?" And I think a lot of the design philosophy that's from Top of the Trash would later lead into Pine Climb.
Mm.
You can kind of,
Yes, the end of it. Yep.
yeah, because there's a lot of similarity with that. Where like if this is the map that teaches you about the rubber chickens, right, and you go into if you're able to somehow survive the gauntlet that's Pine Climb, this is the perfect predecessor to that. I honestly think like a Hyperdrive Heroes before Top of the Trash and before Pine Climb is like the perfect Fall Guys game. That's like just the perfect triple hitter of just speed, skill, and the combination of the two. I do, as for where to put it, my only problem with it is that it is one, it does encourage bullying for the Twitch streamers, so there's kind of that angle going for it, where it is the easiest to stream snipe people. But the other thing too is just it's too short. I think like the 30 seconds could be buffed up to 45 because I don't think like Dragon Dashers or I'm sorry, uh, what is that? Unlike Rebound Run, where like nobody can make it to the end, this one I feel like nobody really struggles with making it to the top of the mountain. It's not a long level by far. So if they just increase the point values of it, right, where you had to like get 45 stars instead of 30, or just had like the moving box around instead of just at the top, it would be an easy go to tier. But I like what they did with the gimmick. I like how it could be its own game mode. I like how it inspired even like better levels. So for me, it's going at the very top of A, just barely missing goaded because you could. There's so much potential to just be added to this level. Good stuff. Smacks.
Hell yeah. Blunder blocks. Now, okay, so like, here's the thing about blunder blocks, right? You remember Block Party? It hasn't been in the rotation in a
Uh,
long time, but like you're
yes,
just
yeah.
on this big old like rectangular platform. There's blocks coming at you and stuff. When that was first added to the game, which I think it was, I don't remember if it was OG or like right after, but like when it was first added to the game, it was boring, right? Then a little bit later, they added a version where you could kind of like it was like steps and you could go up on top. It's like faster paced. It was cool. It was really I call that one good Block Party. Um, this feels like a final that was made looking at the first worst Block Party rather than the good one. And they didn't even give us the courtesy of adding variations to it. So
Mhm.
it's just the same exact map every single time. Once you know it, you cannot lose unless somebody grabs you and messes you up, which is always a possibility, I suppose. But it's even hard to do that on this map. Um, I don't know, man. It's gonna probably go in mid, even though I win this one like every single time. Because again, like once you memorize the map, it's just the same thing every time. It's not complicated. You just run the route, boom, you win. Like I don't know, it's not hard. Really, the only hard part about it is like avoiding clipping the corner on a jump, and that's really it. I don't know. I think it's kind of boring. If they added more, if they removed the sky kill box and added more stuff that was like the good block party, then you could easily catapult this shit all the way up to goated for me. But it's not going to be even close because they underutilized the. And you know they could always change it. They could always make it better, but they didn't within last season to this current season. They didn't do that. So that that there's a missed opportunity. This screams missed opportunity to me. This final. So it's going to go in C for me. It's going to go top of C. Or actually, no, you know what? Mind the Gap is still higher, but it's above Jump Club in mid. I think it's a very mid final.
Yeah, I agree. For me, it's a very mid final as well, in large part because it doesn't have any variation with it. I do think that the only way I ever die in this game, or where I could conceive myself dying in this game, is if one, there's multiple people, and I do mean multiple, as in like two and three and four people all grabbing me in unison at the same time to screw me over. Um, it does, and then of course at the very end, there's like a random red block that falls. The other red block, I'm pretty sure if you've gone through like your footage, you'll know which one I'm talking about.
100%. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that occasionally has the ability to like just tap you just hard and fast enough to like push you in the background. But I think the other big problem with that is like, okay, people, it has a very high chance of having multiple people survive this. I've seen maps of like, or groups of upwards of four people surviving a finale. Two surviving, all right, it happens. Three, that's pretty impressive. Four, and it's consistent, a little weird to me. But
Yeah.
I think the problem is that when you have three or four people who are consistently dodging, consistently finding the path, after 3 minutes of that, it should be over. I think it takes way too long for the clock to go down. And I have that same issue with another finale. Because the thing with the finales is that yes, they're meant to test your ability to the absolute peak, but after that last minute of just going around the circle for the upteenth time, you just start to drone out. And this level, it's supposed to be like the finale to the game. You should be looking forward to the finales. And the fact that most of these are falling flat after potentially following stuff like Hyperdrive Heroes or Rooftop Rush or God forbid Clumsy Crusade or Top of the Trash. It's heartbreaking to get here and you're like, oh, because it either ends
This one
really
again.
quickly,
All right.
it ends really quickly, and it's great, or it goes on forever. And not only that, but I feel like Blunder Blocks has like a statistical average, like a higher average of appearing more than any of these other finales. And every time it does pop up, I'm like, God damn, again?
Yeah. Not this
So,
current season, right? Like the one that we're in right now. Like the season that we're ranking is the one that just ended. But the one that we're in right now, I feel like I'm not getting it nearly as much. But like the season that we're ranking, I was getting it all the time. It was like every other freaking match. I was like, why? I understand
bro,
it's new, but come on, guys.
I've seen you do sessions, and you have literally like you personally. I've seen you play this game 3 times in a row.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
It needs to cool it a little bit with this
Yeah, it needs
frequency.
to like go away and like fucking. It needs to just roll your step, man. You're starting to overstay your welcome.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, it's going in the top of C tier, which is mid, because it is better than Jump Climb. But it's getting worse, and I think if I keep seeing it more and more often, they don't change the variations. I think it's eventually going to drop down to like it's still going to stay in C, but I think Jump Club might beat it.
Yeah.
That's all I
I,
gotta
I
say.
I do gotta say I am quite depressed that they didn't switch this thing out for this newest season. Like I was really like they switched out Dodge Dive Survive, but not this. Like if you're gonna take one of the two new finals that you made, or three, I guess, with Pine Climb, like you switch out Pine Climb and Dodge Dive Survive, but you keep this. Why? Really, why? Um, but anyway, it's what they chose to do. So we're gonna keep seeing it for the next like 90 days or something.
Ugh,
Uh, I'm already sick of it though.
yeah.
Circle of Slime. Man, this is my home. I live here. You can find my house right off the side. You see like that grate where the slime is? I live in there. Um, this place, I mean, I just love Circle of Slime. It's without even like explaining it. This is already definitely an S tier final for me. Uh, it's just so fun. Like devising your route is one thing. Like I have a route that through many different plays of this game I have solidified for myself. It uses exactly zero breakables until that one part that's always what it comes down to. Where you can't avoid the breakables, which I think is really clever for like and it's resulted in so many like close. Like you gotta strategize. If like two or three people make it to like like whatever rotation 4, 5, 6, and the breakables in that section are starting to get real scarce. You gotta think. You gotta use your brain to figure out like where you're gonna go. If you're gonna try to screw them over, if you're gonna do that, like how are you gonna do that? Because they might beat you to it if your route is not like on point enough. So my route has been refined to the point where I know exactly where I'm going. I don't even need to see to know where I'm going to be jumping next. And then when it boils down to that shit at the end, if I'm playing against some real gamers, I can beat those gamers because I am confident in what I'm doing and how I've planned out my actions. Obviously, it doesn't always work out. If I miss my timing on like a breakable and I fall into the slime, like yeah, it happens. Um, but for the most part, I love this pretty much every single time I get it, and I don't think that it's in the newest season, but man, I,
Mm.
I'd love to see it pretty much whenever they want to add it back in. Where do I put it? Do I put it above? No, I don't put it above Slime Climb. It's gonna chill like in the middle of S for me, like above Lily Leapers and Rooftop Rush for me. I think I've actually come around to. I'm gonna put Rooftop Rush above Lily Leapers. Um, oh yeah, right here in the middle of S for me.
So, Circle of Slime, out of all the finales in this iteration, this is the most consistent. All right, this is the one that you love to tie with people the most because it's the one that feels the most earned. Because
Yes.
it's one that requires use of all the breakables. It requires you to maximize your strategy. It requires you to basically have a gentleman's agreement to not destroy the ending and make it worse for everybody, including yourself. And when you only have like two or three people left and it gets down to the wire, it's the only one where the time limit never feels like it goes on for too long. Like it has the perfect length no matter what iteration you're going with. The victories in it are by far the best. And unlike Pine Climb, where you basically I hate to spoil this, but when you see somebody make it to the top, you pretty much have like a 95, 99% chance of winning unless you have a gentleman's agreement with them at the very end, you duke it out with the rubber chickens,
Yeah.
um, or you just like massively miss your swing, which is unlikely. Circle of Slime, the winner of this game is almost never set in stone. It has a high chance of winning and losing at the same time, no matter what point in the game it is. Like you feel like you can always crawl your way out of victory until the very end. So to have like the constant teasing of hope in there, and just you got to hold on just a little bit more, just hang in there, which is probably the key to any good Fall Guys map. No other map in this game has that written in its DNA quite like Circle of Slime. So, yes, it is going in S tier. I would put it just below Slime Climb, but as a finale, it is a perfect finale and my personal favorite. Goated.
Hell yeah. I think I will add one thing. You know what I said about Hyperdrive Heroes, where it's kind of like a teacher in being aware of the people around you and your surroundings, because before the chaff gets weeded out, right? People are always looking to grab you on this one because the slime is right there. It's bubbling. They see it and they want you in that slime. So not only do you have to be hyper aware of like where you're going and your own route, you got to make sure that you're playing defense the whole time too. And I think that only adds to it because like you just can't turn your brain off and just run the route. No, you have to keep your brain on while you're running your route because if anybody comes up right behind you and tries to push you in, you got to fight that shit back and then make sure that you're on top when the moment of truth comes and that shit is right behind you, you know. So the number of like really good duels I've had too, like not even just like trying to tie this one, like that's awesome when you can tie this one, but like dueling people who are really aggressive and winning, oh yeah, that's satisfying.
Yeah, this is Schadenfreude the level. Circle of Slime also, it, in a weird way, when you have two people of relatively equal skill going at it, it's very reminiscent of the Mustafar fight in Revenge of the
Anakin
Sith.
and Obi-Wan, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, where like you have two people on a like you're on a constant tightrope trying to navigate this ever breaking landscape before you, and meanwhile the rush of lava, or in this case slime, is always encroaching on you. So like the time limit's always there, but it's always evolving. And then when you add the crumbling blocks before you, I do kind of wonder if they see, it's tricky because on the one hand, removing the blocks at the very end would kind of add it up to where people could min max this level if they can navigate the little platforms. But the other side, it could also run the risk of the level going on for too long. I think my only contention, right, or my only thing I would change about this level if I could, like have the crushable blocks underneath, but when they break, you have the small little circle things that you can. It takes a lot of skill. But you can jump on those and then make it over to the hop. I think if they did that, this would not. I think this would be the closest level I would get to actually beating Hyperdrive Heroes. It's that friggin' good, and
Yeah.
that's it for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that'd be actually really cool. Like if they only like one though, I wouldn't want them to add like multiple, just one in the center that's under the last breakable in the middle that you could skill jump off
Ooh,
of. That'd be really cool.
ooh, oh, I do like that. Damn.
Right?
Oh yeah,
Like
because that could be. Ooh, I'm actually getting giddy thinking about that. That's awesome.
it's just
Stuff.
like a one little tiny change, but it would make it really cool. Just a whole nother layer of like of getting through that part because a lot of the time when there's a bunch of people that survive a while, that section can become impossible to tie, and then you have to go at each other's throats at the end. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, having that would be really cool. Dodge, dive, survive. This one's I don't know. Um, what do I have to say about dodge, dive, survive? Once you know where to stand, it trivializes it. Um, but not always, because it depends on who you're playing with, right? If you're playing with somebody who's just going to ride it out with you, it is one of the most trivial finals in the entire game, aside from the one or two times where it's like red then green immediately, or like green then red. Like you know what I'm talking about. Those parts where the
Yeah.
jumps are really tight. Um, that part of the level is usually fun. And it definitely weeds out if there's any chaff left in the level, they die immediately to the red. Um, but again, it's just about like if you know the level, same thing with blunder blocks. It is the same every single time. If you know what's coming and you know where to stand, you don't have to worry too much unless somebody's coming at you and trying to grab you and push you into stuff. Then it changes the entire dynamic of the level. And I think that fights in this level when it comes to grabbing are actually totally warranted. And I think it spices up the level to a point where I would rank it higher. But given that that only happens maybe 10 to 20% of the time when I'm playing this, I can't rank it based off of that. So, based off of just the level as is, barring any barring any people coming in and spicing it up for me and making me have to be on my toes, it's pretty boring. I don't think it's as boring as Blunder Blocks, but it's damn close. Um, I don't hate to see it as much as I hate Blunder Blocks. Do I hate to see it to the point where I would consider it just like really mid, or do I think that there actually is some like worth to this? That's the question. I think I'm gonna put it. I'm fighting myself right now because I want to put it like basically right next to Blunder Blocks, but I do think it had more potential because it's basically a boss fight, right? Like it's pretty cool. The stuff coming at you is a lot faster right away than something like Blunder Blocks. And feel free to disagree with this. I'm gonna put this at the bottom of B. Noise. So I don't really love to see it. I don't really hate to see it, but I think I like to see it more than I hate to see it in terms of like I guess the finals from this season because there's one coming up. There's really two coming up that are probably going to be more. Well, one we know where it's going, and then two like the very last one that we're going to be ranking. Spoiler, I guess. Trick or Trapeze. We're going to have some words about this one, and I think I've drifted more towards your position than not in recent days, especially because they kept it in. Um, but yeah, I think bottom of B is where this one will chill, and for pretty good reason. It's not. It doesn't really have the ability to go higher, even if they switched it up. Um, Pretty boring, but not as boring as Blunderblocks.
Yeah, I get every time I play this level, I have the same amount of energy where I do with Blunder Blocks, where it's like, okay, we're gonna have a really somewhat interesting first minute, minute and a half, where like all the like the remaining plebs get yeeted out the window for as a matter of saying. But when you have like 3 or 4 people who are kind of like they have a gentleman's agreement where they're not trying to actively fuck each other over, they're just trying to like zone out the level and they're fine with sharing the W with each other, then it gets boring as hell because it's just 2, 3, and like 3.5 minutes of just waiting and watching the same line of effort coming at you, and you're like, "Oh my god, yeah!" Stay in the middle of the corners there, dodge the 2 balls in the middle, jump if you have to, move forward when you have the 2 lines coming at the same time, pull back, rinse, repeat. Do that, I don't know, 7 times. Call it a day. But at least here, like unlike Blunder Blocks, um, if you get pushed back with the stuff by dodge, dive, survive, it's not a complete deal breaker, and you never feel like you're fighting jank. Whereas with Blunderbox, the stuff touches you, and you feel like you just glitch out of existence just with the way the walls work.
Yeah,
Whereas the balls are a bit more forgiving, if that makes sense. It's not the balls you have to worry about if you like just dodge them mostly. It's usually the slime that kills people, or they're a bit too confident in their jump and they're just a bit too close to the edge.
yeah,
Uh, but really, when I think of ways to improve this, I think, well, maybe the balls, because there's other levels to do this, right? Like there's hoverboard heroes or big shots where like the cannons that launch the material can move side to side and make the balls a bit more variable. And then there's like, well, turn the slime on in some cases, turn the slime off in some cases, launch all 3 of them at the same time, perhaps. Just do something to change up the variable and keep me more engaged in the level as opposed to just zoning out for 2.5 and having, like, I swear to God, you can have tea with the other opponent by the time you're waiting for this thing to be done playing. It's not broken, it's not glitchy, it's not falling apart as you play it, but it's just not that all that engaging after like 2 minutes in, and after that, it's it's like white bread. It has like no flavor, so
yeah.
it's going at the top of mid, but it's really I find it perplexing that between this and Blunder Blocks, this got the axe and Blunder didn't, and this game popped up a bit too many times last iteration, in my opinion. But at least it it just it didn't feel as egregious when Blunderbox came on. I don't know. It's just maybe it's the aesthetic of it all, but I just found it way
It
more.
definitely looks better. Like it look
Yeah,
to look at just as a level, like the blue slime beneath, the boss whole thing in front of you, like the multicolored attacks, definitely looks a hell of a lot better than Blunderblocks is just like, oh, it's like orange. Oh look, it's a red block coming. Oh geez, oh they added the green ones.
yeah, it's
Any
so
any other
garish to look
colors?
at.
Any other colors? Nope. That's the whole level.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put this in C as well. I'm gonna say the top of C, mid,
Fair, fair,
and
fair.
that's really it for. Oh God, I just saw the next one.
Yeah, I don't
Oh
remember
wait,
how. I think you've told me at least at one time how you felt about Hexering.
oh
Um.
no, I'm sorry. No, I have a completely different order. No, I was looking at the next one for you. I'm sorry, the one after that. Yeah, we'll
Oh,
get
here,
there in a
well,
second.
yeah, the one after Hexering, we have some
Yeah.
strong words for. But Hexering is. I love this one. It's just if okay. This is really, and it's going in S for me. I just don't know exactly where yet. Um, how do you feel like? Where would you rank this among like all of the Hex finals? Because in terms of like ingenuity. They took the whole hex concept, which at the beginning, when it was just hexagon, it was cool. It was like platforms of hexes, and you had to try to keep yourself up and stuff. But that did kind of like get overshadowed by a lot of the next ones that they came out with was like hexaterrestrial, hexaring, and I'm forgetting one I think, but um this is, in my opinion, this is probably the best hex based final for me. Um and I'm definitely open to disagreements on this, but I really do love Hexaring, and I've had some of my and this stream I had my most intense final probably ever against a guy that I probably should not have won against on this final. I really do love to see it pretty much every single time. I know it's gonna either be like a really crazy gauntlet if there's a guy in my lobby that's like a real serious gamer, and it's gonna be down to the finish because I'm good at it, so I can make it down to the finish even with the best of the best in this game. It's just a really I just think it's really well designed, and I always have fun with it. There's basically not been a time where I don't have fun with it unless it ends super duper quick, which has gotten rarer because people have gotten better at it. Um, I'm gonna put it above. I'm gonna put it above Lily Leapers and Rooftop Rush, but I don't think it passes Circle of Slime because Circle of Slime is really freaking goated. Um, right up here, middle slash closer to the bottom of S, but still, nonetheless, I love it so much.
So, Hexa okay, if Circle of Slime is the best finale to play with friends, Hex a Ring is the best it's the best finale to play against an enemy because it is like peak boss fight material where it's you them. There's a little bit of RNG there, but outside of that, and just min maxing the paths there and memorizing it, and this ever changing level flow, it's 100% skill based. Where it's like if you died in this level, you died because you got outplayed or you
Yep.
generally got outsmarted. It's one that has everything you want. It has ingenuity, reflex, um, pre-planning your attack patterns, figuring out which line of effort to go after, figuring out how they react to things around you. Hell, even stuff like grabbing, while a valid strategy in the beginning, can actually harm you in the end just because of the way like the spinning works. Where once you get to like the last two, if the map is going quick enough and it comes down to the wire, out of all the games in here, right? None of them, when it comes down to cutting to the wire, is as satisfying to win as Hexaring, and that's why I say it's like the best one for the enemy. Now, it's going to go in goaded, but as where it's going, um, I think this is pretty telling. My biggest criticism with it is just how rare it is to find. But that think about it. When the biggest criticism is that, oh, I wish I could play it more often. Is
Is
that
that even
really a
really a
criticism?
criticism at that point? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to play Hexaring more often just because it's such a good finale. And it's one of the two that I like every time it pops up, no matter what game I just played before, I'm like, yes. Even coming off of something like Hyperdrive Heroes or Slime Time, this is a worthy finale. This is a way to end this is what you end the stream on. This is what you end the run on. This is what kills somebody's streak. It's pure theater. This is the closest this game will ever get to pure gladiator entertainment, and for that, it's going in S tier, at the bottom of S tier, but still an enthusiastic S tier. This is a very early game. The fact that people still want to play it this late, so many years later, shows just like with Slime Climb, its staying power. If they make a Fall Guys animated series and they need to have something to be the finale, this is it.
I hope it's X-Ring. Yeah,
I hope
absolutely.
you guys enjoyed that all that glazing because oh my god, let's follow up the treasure with the trash.
We're about to come into the fucking. We're in the landfill, ladies and gentlemen. Now we went from the best to the best. I'm using my standing desks feature here. Hold on, I'm gonna stand up to rank this one. This shit is fucking horrible. Fucking Kraken Slam is the worst final to ever be invented. It's one of the worst fucking mini games in any game I've ever played. It's horrible. It's sewage steeped in you take fucking Kraken Slam and you throw it in the garbage, and you take that garbage and then you dump it into the sewer, and then you take that entire sewer and you throw it into the void. It's fucking bad. Everything about this fucking final sucks. I have never enjoyed this final. Not a single time. It's really, really bad. Like, is there an ability within me to justify to you why it's this bad, or do you just have to play it? That's kind of my question. Like, you're more eloquent like with why you think something's bad than I am, but I'm gonna attempt like the every part of this is either jank or you're like waiting for everybody around you to grow a fucking spine. Like when it starts, over half the lobby stands still for one, which is just boring as shit. They even added a version where like the platforms take 3 bounces instead of 2. Let's make it even slower to start out with and get people fucking moving. Once the tentacles come, which I want them to because I want it to be over quicker, they're fucking shank. Every single inch of those fucking tentacles is awful. And then there's the corner. Then there's the corner that these guys who think they're so smart, they'll just go stand in the corner, and the tentacles can't fucking hit them. So I have to go over there and get in a shoving match with them. And then, lo and behold, the shoving match is just like we're getting knocked straight up in the air and back down until one of us just lands wrong, I guess, and then gets off of the thing. It's there is no part of this final that is redeemable. Everything about it is terrible. I it's in F, and it's if there was a tier below F, I would put it there. It's bad. That's my
So
spiel.
I have a proposal. I know for F right now it says actual sewage. I propose that we change that level to Kraken Slam
Just
tier.
name it Kraken Slam.
Just
I mean,
name it
nothing
Kraken.
else is gonna go there. So
Oh,
yeah, fuck it.
yeah, so the Kraken Slam thing for me, it's like, hey, what if we took a game, like a mini game, that had the one-on-one kind of esque material with buttons, with button bashers, with the constant waiting around, doing nothing of Slime Splatoon, and then the overt jank of Skyline Stumble. They took the worst elements of the worst 3 games and put it into one, and then they had the gall to call it a finale boss fight. I've like, no matter what time or how this game has ended, I've never had a satisfying
Never,
time
never.
with this. Like, and there's nothing they could do to change it. Like, adding the chicken bats would not change it. Adding the exploding balls from other games would not change it. This is a fundamentally it's unfun to play. It's
It's
a game that
grotesque.
I've never heard anyone with any genuine enthusiasm say, "Yes, Kraken Slam!" Ah! And
Right.
like, never. It's never happened. It's no one's favorite. It's like you go down any list of like what's the worst Fall Guys minigame, it's 100% either going to be Kraken Slam or some other janky piece of crap that nobody cares about. It's just, and the fact that it's remained in the rotation for this long and has, to my knowledge, yet to be taken out is just insane to me. I can't imagine like the amount of downvotes this thing must have. And the idea, like, this has never happened to me, but like the idea of being in this lobby even longer with like the 3 hit boxes, just jank.
Yeah. You've never gotten the green ones?
If I have, it's been a hot minute, but I don't recall seeing them like really all that often. In large part because I don't know. I tune out because it seems like this is the only one where I'm like, yes, please let there be more people to grab and push people because at least they can end my suffering like earlier than I am. This is I don't know. I would rather go dive in an Iron Maiden casket than play
Yeah.
this game. I hate this. It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
It's a
F tier.
testament to how god awful this is that it is the only final. And I've never done it on stream or whatever, but like when this game like first came out, it sucked since it came out. When it first came out, I did at one point because I got it like 3 times in a fucking row. I killed myself on purpose. I was like, I don't care. I don't care about winning. I don't want to play this. I don't want to be in this situation. Run it back. Just get me in a different fucking lobby. Like I don't want to be here. It's the only final I've ever done that with. It's terrible. It's the worst.
It really is a momentum killer because it's like if you have the perfect run, in my opinion, of like a game that like it starts off with Rooftop Rush and then continues into Slime Climb and then
Like
caps off
top
with
of the
Hyperdrive
trash or
Heroes.
like hyperdrive heroes, and then
Yeah, and then it feeds into this. It like that would be a perfect round, and then it goes from like an S tier match setup all the way down to F. It's just it sucks that badly that it takes 3 S tiers and ruins the playthrough.
yep. Mm-hmm. I'm glad we're
It's
on
not
the
even
same
fun.
page about this because
It's
it
not
really
even
is that
fun
bad.
to watch.
No, no. It's not fun to watch. It's not fun to play. It's not fun to look at. I don't like seeing it. If I could, I would delete every single fucking data point that has to do with this level from reality. It's a waste of code. It needs to go away.
And the fact that it pops up more than Hexaring, I honestly think the developer should be brought up on war crimes in that regard. Okay,
Yup.
maybe
War
not that
crimes.
extreme, but like it's still pretty bad. It's like uh, the CEO needs to come out and apologize for Kraken Slam. This is the Batman and Robin of Fall Guys games.
Listen, I'll tell you one good thing about Kraken Slam. You ready? It's that it's not in the new season.
Oh my god.
That's it. That's the
Oh,
only good thing about this fucking level.
okay.
Period. End of story. We're moving
It's
on.
redeemed itself. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Now it's perfect.
let let's talk about something that this is probably gonna be the one we disagree on the most.
Is it really? Yeah, probably.
Um,
Yeah. I love Pine Climb. So the gauntlet that is the level leading up to like the kind of like the like penultimate version of like Top of the Trash. Um, the gauntlet is so satisfying to run. Like the first couple of times that I played this level, maybe even like the first like 5 times, I struggled to like learn the tech necessary to get in the front and then stay in the front. And like once you learn that, it doesn't make the level any easier. It's still a massive skill check. This gauntlet is rough, and you gotta be on the top of your game to even get to the end, let alone get to the end first and obtain the advantage in the chicken bat that you will need to knock off the other players. It's extremely satisfying to get there first, to camp somebody that's coming up with the chicken bat is also satisfying, though I will concede to you that it is cheap. But I earned that advantage by getting up there first. So it rewards a skilled player with something that you can bait out the chicken. People have waited me out. Like they'll get up to like that little part that's like right before the top, and they'll just like stand there. And they'll like, okay, are you gonna come down, swing at me? And then I've dropped down, they've jumped up, and they've basically juked me. So there's a lot of like extreme strategy associated with the end, positional strategy, timing strategy, because you have to watch the slime too. Because that shit, once it starts to really come up fast, it can delete you like before you even like really know it's there. So you have to keep your eye on the slime. You got to keep your eye on the other players, and you got to make sure that you're positioning yourself in a way that is strategically advantageous enough to win. And that's after you run this insanely, extremely well designed, in my opinion, gauntlet. So it's not missing anything for me. There's really basically nothing that I can say that that would take anything from this level. It is a near perfect final in my opinion, though I don't know. And this is where I'm really at war with myself. Do I think it's a better final than Circle of Slime? I think I do. Do I like it more than Slime Climb? I have more positive memories with Slime Climb, but I think Pine Climb is a better designed level. Hyperdrive Heroes has just enough tiny bit of jank at the beginning and the ability to like grab kill people, which is not my favorite way to lose. That doesn't really happen on Pine Climb. You either lose to the chicken bat or you lose to the slime or like out or like messing up. In Pine Climb, I basically never feel like my death is anything but entirely my fault. So yeah, I like it more than Hyperdrive. Do I like it more than Clumsy Crusade? Yeah, I think it's a better designed level. It's the top of S for me. It really is. Like I can't justify putting it any lower. And I know you're definitely not going to be putting it where I just put it, but that's my justification for thinking the way I do about it.
So Pine Climb is basically the better version of Top of the Trash, where if you took the ending from both games and then put a really fun gauntlet at the beginning, that's what I feel Pine Climb is like. I think it rewards people for like being efficient with the timing, being efficient with their jumps, learning the different momentums of the hammer itself. Because if that's the hammer, right, when you go like when it pushes you up there, if you time it just right, not only can you get a jump off of it, it can push you to the very top of the tree. Did you know that?
Which hammer are you talking about?
So, go to YouTube and type in the name of the level. Let me. What's this one called again? Pine Climb. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So Pine Climb, Fall Guys. Go to the first video. It should be from Robbie Con 100.
It's a second video for me, but yeah, I got you. Where am I
Okay.
going?
So go to about oh snap. So 33 seconds in exactly. So you see that hammer thing, like the fist that pushes up?
Yeah, the fist. Yep.
If you time that perfectly, it can send you past all those little blocks that they're jumping through right now. All of it. You can go through that entire. That's a skip that you can use and ride that out and get to the top of this tree branch or this
Really?
this tree.
That's crazy
Yes,
that nobody's ever done that to me before.
I've recorded myself doing that once. I found it out by sheer accident. I was like, "Whoa, you can do that!" And so that kind of like pushed it up for me. Where I'm like, I I would have guessed that just because of other video games, but I'm glad that it works here. I hope it's not a one-time glitch. But
No,
like,
I
if I
bet
can,
I bet that you can like kind of like double the momentum of it with like a perfectly timed jump. That's kind of the way that the bean physics work in this game. If that's actually tech, I'm really sad that they took it out because I want to learn that now.
I think you can do that. But I'll if I do that again, I'll send you the video. But having said that, the climb there is satisfying. Getting to the top is it's kind of like it took the premise of the opening of Mortal Kombat Armageddon, where they're all just racing to the top of the pyramid, and you have like the final fight between like really first and third player, because second's just gonna get yeeted off the map. But like if you can get like the two of them just going at it and crushing the blocks, trying to stay on the platform, hitting with the bat, meanwhile dodging the slime, it's like a really good finale against somebody that you can't, for better or worse, tie with. So it follows the same line of thinking that Hexering does. So for that, it's really good. My only points of contention with it is the fact that this is very early on. It had the same issue of there's another map in Fall Guys where you're on uh four little islands going around in a circle, and I swear to God, no one has ever made it halfway, like, past the halfway point. Where like it's really well designed, but everyone dies like almost instantly, so you don't get to wipe out waves. You never get to appreciate the level design because of just how frequently people were dying. But this has
So,
mostly been solved by having just like two or three solid players in the map. And then when you're able to just duke it out with somebody that's been your rival for the entire time, it's very satisfying.
oh, this
So
one, yeah.
yeah.
That
So
one like I never get past. Like, do you see my screen right now? I like
what?
never get past this part, like the part with the ring. Like it ends basically every single time by the time you get to that part.
Oh yeah, for me it's the same thing. Like
It's
once
wild.
like the furthest I've gotten is the little islands over there, like just past the little spinning thing. But I don't know what
Yeah.
it is with like these little balls here and these two fans. But everyone just like it's like a condensed version of Hyperdrive Heroes. I'm like,
People
what
just
the
can't
hell?
handle it, man. I don't know what's up
It's
with
like,
it.
guys, it's four jumps and two balls. Like you can survive this.
I really
And then of
think
course
that the other part with like the fans, right, with like the bar kind of swinging around on top of them. I think it's
yeah,
because everybody tries to go top route that way. That's a lot harder. If you just drop down, there's a lot of platforms right beneath there that you can just jump up, and then there's like not really a
it's
whole
not
lot.
that it's not that hard. Like
It's not.
I've never I've it just sucks that like half the map from here is gone. But as far as pine climbing is concerned, it's going at the bottom of S tier for me. But
Fair.
it's still an S tier. And that says something. Like it's better than Dragon Dashers, better than Slippery Slopes, Big Fan, Clumsy Carnival, Lily Leapers. These are really well made, put together events. And if this is anyone's favorite, I can understand that. Like any one of these games in S tier deserves to be there. Every one of
Absolutely.
them. So It's not my favorite, but I can see why it would be someone else's. So it's really good. I can't complain. I never get upset whenever it's in the rotation. When it finally does get yeeted from the rotation, I will be sad to see it go.
It has been yeeted from the rotation, sadly.
Oh my god, dude, that was your boss fight area.
Yeah. Let's finish up this bad boy.
Yeah.
Trick
Um.
or trapeze? I I've gone through like phases with trick or trapeze, right? Like when it first started out, I tried to go to the top, and I did win going the top a couple of times before that route, the route was like revealed to me. It was possible to win just going like the way that you perceive to be the normal route. Um, but then like when it was revealed to me, I was like, okay, I need to learn this route. I need to like optimize it, and I had fun doing that. Now it's just like rinse and repeat, kind of like boring levels, sort of similar to like blunder blocks. It's less boring than blunder blocks because there's a lot more opportunity to mess up, especially if multiple people are running the route and you have to kind of like jockey for position with them. And then there's that cool thing you can do at the end where you can like kind of multiply your boost if you go through the gate 3 times or whatever, and you can like overtake somebody who's right about to finish, which I have done. Um, but still, it's like it I don't know, it feels just very solved. And any final that can be that easily solved doesn't deserve any higher than like I don't know, B. I don't know. I can't really put it that much higher than B. I do like I like to see it every now and then, but I am kind of sad that they kept it in the ranked or rather they kept it in the pool for this next season because I was getting tired of playing it and now I have to keep playing it. And the route is so solved, so many people know it that it's like I don't know. I guess I should be happy that it's less of a given win. Like when I'm the only one running the route, it's like I just win. But I'm at the same time I'm not because the route has gotten kind of boring at this point, and I just don't. I don't really enjoy it as much. Um, it'll go in B for me. I don't. I wouldn't call it mid. I think that the level design is kind of cool, but at the same time, it is just solved and pretty boring. Um, where in B do you go? You'll go like mid bottom-ish of B. I think I probably like it. Well, definitely more than Dodge Dive Survive, but not. Yeah, like maybe like bottom-ish of B, like right above Dodge Dive Survive.
So for me, it doesn't have any of the glitching environments. Like it's not broken on the code level the same way as like Skyline Stumble and Slime Saloon are concerned. And it does like when you find the route, it is cool to utilize it, once or twice. But when it becomes a solved meta, and it's running to the same problem that Smash Brothers Melee did, where everyone now knows how the game works. So that's why there's only like 4 or 5 real viable options in there. And it all revolves around using the bottom part of the map, which basically foregoes a good, like all the top floors up there. So that's like 90% of the level just gone. And when the whole like core of the level is designed about utilizing these different paths for different timing, but the time doesn't matter because the slime always starts off at the same level, always lowers at the same level, always rises up at the same level. Unless you've like screwed up your one or somebody has grabbed you, it's gonna be the same thing over and over again. Sure, it is shorter than Blunder Blocks or Dodge, Dive, Survive, but there's also less variables at play here because the options to screw up, quite frankly, are so far and few in between. You can count them on one hand.
Yeah,
There's
only a
really
couple
only
spots.
yeah, there's only like one portion of the map, and it's a momentum killer that's got it going for that. That really is going to decide the level. So the level effectively ends, and you know who's going to win, like a good 20 to 30 seconds before it actually ends. And the level that can realistically ends in like a minute and a half, that's bad game design. Now it's still functional, so it's better than some of the other ones on this list. But I hate to break the mold on this one of all things, but I gotta put this just below the Swiveler in garbage tier.
Fair enough.
It,
Fair enough.
and it could be fixed with one thing. If they just switched the slime timing, they just did that, it'd be a fine middle of the road level. But as it
Like
is right now,
randomized it. Yeah.
yeah, just a randomized task. But as of right now, I can't justify putting it anything more than garbage.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I only put it higher than like Dodge Dive Survive in them just because it's like, yeah, it's solved, but I do have more fun moving through the level than I do just standing there for like Dodge Dive Survive and Blunder Blocks half the time. But yeah, no, I know I 100% get where you're coming from. It is the fact that it is just one solved route every single time, exactly the same, is yeah, it's not good game design. They should have done that a lot better. All right, well, that's the Fall Guys tier lists. I am going to get a screenshot from you of your tiers, so I can flash it on the screen right now in the video that will be uploaded of this. So you can compare
Uh,
my tiers to Apex's tiers. But yeah, man, thank you for making this with me. This was a blast. Took a lot longer than I thought it would because we had a lot more to say about the levels than I think we initially thought we would. All right, thank you everybody for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube after the video is uploaded with this tier list, then sub and stuff for more tier lists. There will be more, both with Apex and for many other things that I have already made with my buddy Ross, and I will be doing solo and stuff. I like tier list content and giving my opinion on certain things. So yeah, have a good one.